for? Well, this is a yes or no tarot reading. So focus on your question now. Give yourself a minute, pause the video if you need to, but do make sure as well you've given the video a little like, a little boop, to claim it, and let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do more of these, or if there's any questions you'd like me to specifically do. So, we're going to go on to the first star sign now, but remember, it must be a yes or no question. It can be any question that you feel drawn to, but it must be a yes or no. So, we're going to get started with Aries. So, Aries, what can you tell me about this situation? You haven't had movement forward at the moment. You're dealing with somebody that is a little bit more set in their ways. You're dealing with somebody who is a little bit more kind of set in their ways. They're not wanting to change. Some of you, this person is literally older than you. With the World card here and with the Two of Wands, you're like, oh my god, I'm just waiting for you to make a move. I'm just waiting for you to move things forward. And I feel like there is this anxiety here of going, oh my god, just make a move, just do it. And you are getting to the point where you're getting so frustrated with them, you just can't. You can't put up with it anymore. You're like, I just can't put up with this anymore. This person is just dragging their heels, they're just doing nothing. You're trying to prompt them, trying to push them forward, trying to get a response. You're very emotionally invested in this. You want this to work. You want it to go forward. You're really willing it because you feel like your life would fall apart without it, or you feel like your life would go really badly without it. You have so much passion for this, so much love for this. You really kind of have put your heart and soul into it. And there's this just huge frustration with this person. You're like, do they not understand how important this is to me? Do they not understand that this is making me sleepless nights or making me really anxious about it and really worried? Like, the person you're dealing with is so set in their ways that even the more you try and prompt them, the more they pull away. So, is the answer to your question a yes or a no? So, I do feel like it's a no, but it's like not in this current state. There isn't going to be arguments between the two of you, but all is not lost here. I almost feel like the specific thing you're asking about is a no, but something else, a compromise, is going to be reached. So you will get something very similar to this, or you'll get something very similar, almost identical, but not quite what you're asking, but there will be something similar. So for example, if it was a job, it'd be like, you don't get that specific job at the company, but they offer you a different job in a different department. That kind of thing, where you get kind of what you want, but not exactly. So I do feel like, though, this is going to be very positive for you in the long run. This is going to kind of help you to kind of take control of things and push forward. And this is really going to help you to kind of see where you need to go from here. Alright, if you enjoyed that, please give the like button a little boop and share this with a friend as well, as it might help them out. So we're going to go on now to Taurus. So Taurus, what are you dealing with today? What is your yes or no question? What are you dealing with today? So you're dealing with the fact that you're going back and forth. You need to be focused. You're trying to focus. You're like, I'm trying to focus, I'm trying to get focused. I know I need movement forward, I know I need to focus. But it's pretty damn hard to focus while everything feels like it's falling apart. You are trying to hold everything together, Taurus. You're trying to progress everything. And you feel like the entire world is kind of falling to bits. You are taking a leap of faith, and I do feel like you need to be taking a leap of faith. You need to be kind of having the manifest mindset of going, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And that's helping you to keep momentum, even though everything else is falling apart. There is definitely going to be communication issues, and that's well, why? This is because somebody is kind of like partying or enjoying themselves so much. I don't feel like it's you, it's somebody you're dealing with. So whoever you're dealing with who would give you the answer to this in the 3D, they are kind of enjoying themselves too much. They're not even procrastinating, like they're off doing other things that they enjoy, that they want to do. And because of that, there's no movement forward with the reverse of the Chariot. Is this answer though a yes or a no? Because although you are having a lot of this ups and downs and lack of movement, is the outcome actually going to be a yes or a no? So I do feel like it's going to be a yes, especially here with the Strength card and with the Knight of Cups. It feels very much like things will go forward in a strong, progressive manner. I do feel like whoever that you're frustrated with right now will end up making a move, talking to you about it. I almost feel like there's a little bit of an air of procrastination here somehow. It's like they know, like, you know what, I've kind of enjoyed myself, I've kind of been going off doing what I want to do, and I know I kind of need to get back to them. So I would definitely say keep chasing up about this, or keep chasing up about getting confirmations about this, or talking to people about this, whatever it is you want to progress, because I feel like communication will move it forward quickly, or progress it forward quicker. One thing I would say though, I feel very much like you're waiting for them to kind of make a move, and when they do, they're going to be a bit like, oh, you know what, I know I should have kind of got back to you sooner. But I do feel like this is really positive. Although there is this slow movement, it is quite positive. We're going to go and move on now, but I hope that helps you out, Taurus. And please boop the like button if you've enjoyed it. So, Geminis, what is your yes or no question today? So give me a yes or no question, and then yes no answer for Gemini's yes or no question. How are they feeling about the situation? Feeling a bit indecisive, like you don't feel like you can overcome this, like there's just going to be battles after battles, but this heavy weight is being lifted off you. Yes, you don't feel like it yet, but there's like a heavy weight that's being lifted off you at the moment. With the Moon card here, I do feel like there's a lot of emotional ups and downs you have to deal with first. I don't feel like it's going to be a straight line. It's like you're carrying a lot of emotional baggage right now. You're carrying a lot of the emotional burdens. Those are getting slowly removed right now, although it doesn't necessarily feel like it. But because of that, you've still got this weight that you haven't fully kind of got healed from. Like, you've carried so much weight for so long. Now you're having to kind of start to trust your intuition again and trust yourself again. There's like this almost like scar of indecisiveness here that's caused by the emotional ups and downs. This really represents a whole new beginning, a whole new cycle for yourself, and a cycle that I want to say is going to be a lot happier with the reverse of the swords. And with the Ace of Pentacles, the reason why this had to happen, they had to kind of I want to say all blow up in your face, but I don't feel like it was that quickly. It was like a slow burnout. The reason why this had to happen is you weren't on the right path, you weren't in the right direction yet. But with the Empress card here, you are regaining your strength. You're definitely regaining your strength at this time. But with this question, is the answer to it actually a yes or is it a no? Is the answer to your question a yes or is it a no? So I do feel like it's a yes eventually. You will have to like disconnect from quite a bit first, or let go of stuff first. Like there will be some disconnections. So it might not be a straight, it just happens as a yes. It might be like somebody or something disconnects from you for a bit, or you let go of something for a bit and then later on it comes back around. But I do feel like this is going to come back around as an offer, or come back around as somebody offering this to you. So it is a yes eventually, but it's a yes through like delayed communications, or a delayed yes. But you will get positive communication and security from it. I just don't feel like it's a straight yes at this time, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go on now to the next reading. So if you've enjoyed that reading, please do let me know in the comments, Gemini. we're going to go on to Cancers now. So Cancers, what do you need to know about your yes or no question? What do you need to know about your yes or no question? You kind of don't feel like you're achieving stuff right now. You feel like, you know, you're not manifesting, like there's a lack of action. You're trying desperately to reach out to people, to communicate, to connect, to overcome any arguments or disagreements. You're trying desperately to overcome things. With the Tower card, I do feel like there is going to be this sudden movement forward, or the drift towards normalcy, and I feel like this is going to be quite quick. This is like something actually completely upheave in their life. So your hard work will pay off eventually, of trying to connect with this person, and you will come out from this troubled waters into somewhere calmer. This is almost like you're trying to deal with people, and the way you're trying to deal with it is you're trying to make dream work. You're trying to make it important to be teamwork. You're trying to, you know, dream work makes the team work, and that's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to form this kind of good teamwork movement forward. Like, you're trying to like make good teamwork here. You're trying to work together as a team to progress things. You're definitely coming out of this troubled waters though. You're definitely coming out of this problematic waters, and I feel like you'll be quite happy with the outcome in the end. But is it actually a yes or a no? So I do feel like it's eventual yes, but you need to change your focus here. You need to kind of disconnect, give people a little bit of space, like, and shift your focus. Focus on just one thing or just one area. Because I do feel like Cancers, you're kind of bringing yourself down a little bit by taking on a lot. So you won't be able to shift this forward quickly. You aren't really in control of this at the moment. You've kind of got to let other people to come forward, other people to come into your life and deal with their life and deal with their crap. But in the end, it does feel like a yes. It does feel like you will take a leap of faith forward. But you need to focus on what is the most important thing for me to do. Because I do feel like many of you are getting distracted by things that are no longer useful, which are causing a lot of these issues. So we're going to go on now. I hope that helps you out, Cancers. We're going to go on now to the next reading, which is Leos. So Leos, what do you need to know today from your reading? What do you need to know for your yes or no question? So, what's the answer to your yes or no question? And what do you need to know from it? This question is definitely building up finances, building up money, building up wealth. Even if it's not material wealth, it could just be the wealth of like having lots of people lovely to spend time with, having a lot of lovely people to spend time with, or it's literally physical wealth. You are starting to break free of those losses. You're starting to break free of that feeling of, I do not have enough, I am losing out, I am missing out. You're starting to break free of that. And with the reverse here of the cups, it's because you realise that you were kind of putting yourself out. This person, or these people you were dealing with, or this situation you were dealing with, wasn't really treating you like family, wasn't really treating you with the respect that you deserve. So that's why you're having to just focus on, what do I need, what do I want. With the reverse of the Hermit card here though, I do feel like you're surrounded by a lot of people that are trying to push you forward positively at this time. And with the King of Pentacles here, I feel like that is kind of bringing you into more abundance. So it's almost like you've disconnected from the people who were draining, who were not good for you, and you're starting to spend time around with people that value you and actually really care about what you bring to the table. With the Ace of Swords though, there is this insecurity a little bit here. Like, you're starting to get more security back in. I feel like you have been dealing with a lot of insecurity in general, and you're starting to get that back in. But what about your question though? Is it a yes or is it a no? So, with the judgment card here, I do feel like you are indecisive about it this time, whether or not it's a good idea to do, whether it's a good idea to go forward. And I feel like more than anything here, there's like lack of, like, I don't want to say lack of action, because I feel like you have been working hard, but now you've got to be exhausted. I do feel like it is a no. It's almost like you're exhausting yourself with this. Like, it's more and more draining. You're kind of losing faith or judgment in it. So I do feel like it's a no, and I feel like it's almost like a, I need to go back to the drawing board here in order to create something that is really going to be beneficial to me. So I hope that helps you out, Leos, and if you have enjoyed it, please just leave a comment down below and boot the like button. I'm going to move on now to Virgos. So Virgos, what do you need to know today, Virgos? How is your yes or no question? So you need to know your yes or no question. What do you need to know about your yes or no question? If you're being honest here, Virgos, you're not really working as hard on your life or hard on things as you want to, or as you should be. And this is because of heartbreak. I'm not trying to like call you out, but you know you're not really progressing as much as you should be because of this heartbreak, this draining energy. You need to start being truthful with yourself, and I feel like this is going to help to humble you a little bit and go, you know what, if I'm being real here, I have been kind of drained. I'm not able to put 110% into this. I am quite drained, and maybe I need a bit of a break. And I feel like there is a lot of sadness around you in general right now, because you don't feel like you're on the right path, because you don't feel connected. But there is going to be a sudden change here, and it isn't going to need your action. So I do feel like you are actually moving towards a more positive light and a positive step, and I feel like you need to definitely embrace that. What about your question though? Can you give me some more guidance on that? Is it a yes or a no? I do feel like it is an eventual yes. You're disconnected a little bit from it right now, so it's a not yet, but eventually, because you need more focus, because the fact that you have been so drained recently, you can't put the energy into it that's required to make it happen. So once your energy is better, once you've had a chance to rest and recuperate, then this will be a yes. But there is a little bit of a delay here, so either it'll be a no, and then eventually you'll go back and do something else, and it'll become a yes. Like, for example, if you were doing a test, it might be a, you fail the first one, you do a reset and you pass, etc. So, although there is this kind of like, it's not yet, eventually is coming in, you just need a little bit of time to kind of rest, relax, to get yourself into that better mind step, get yourself in a better place where you can continue on. So, I hope that helps you out, Virgos. We're going to move on now to Libras. Libras. So Libras, what do you need to know today, Libras, about your yes or no question? What do you need to know today, Libras, about your yes or no question? You have been choosing to walk away from something. You've been choosing to walk away from something because you know it's not working out. You know it's draining. I feel like you've either cut communications, or there was just communication issues, or both. You're regaining your strength here, Libras. You've been regaining your strength and confidence. You're still not sure where to go from here. Like, I'm feeling confident with myself. I've kind of cleared this palette out. I've cleared this out. What do I do next with my life? You'll try not to communicate with people too much, because you keep on getting offered things that you really don't want, and you're not really emotionally invested in, so you purposely kind of put yourself in hermit mode to try and work out what you want, what you need. But what about your question though? Is it yes or is it no? All is definitely not lost. All is definitely not lost here. You might be feeling a little bit like, oh, I feel like I've missed out my chance, or I feel like this isn't going to happen. But all is not lost. With the Hierophant card, I definitely feel like this is a yes. You are progressing, but there is some emotional kind of baggage to do with all of this you're having to free yourself from first. So you might be still, although it does progress towards a yes, and it will be a yes, you may be still struggling with a lot of like negative emotions or emotional ups and downs still, even after the fact. Even after the fact of this kind of moving forward to yes, you may still be holding on to a lot of kind of fear or a lot of anxiety that's causing your emotions to be up and down. So I hope that helps you out, Libras, and if it has, make sure to boop the like button as well. We're going to move on now to Scorpio. So Scorpio, what do the Scorpios need to know about their question? What do Scorpios need to know about their question? There is issues with communication. I feel like whoever you're dealing with this, or whatever entity you're dealing with this, some of you might be like a business or a person, but with the Queen of Cups here reversed, whoever you're dealing with, or whatever business etc you're dealing with, or whatever thing you're dealing with, there isn't the emotional investment here. I feel like you are going up and back, like back and forth about it, up and down about it, and it's because you're kind of getting to the point where you can't take any more emotional burdens or emotions. You are going to get stronger, and you are going to be able to improve communications because of this strength. But there is this need to disconnect for a little bit and focus on what is really bringing you value to your life, what you should really commit to. Is it a yes or a no? So I do feel like this is a no, but this is because you need more security in your life. You need something new in your life. You need to break free of this. So I do feel like this is a no, but it's better in the long run for you, because as you break free of this, you'll be able to progress forward and actually be able to get a whole new system or a whole new thing for you. So do you understand that that is positive for you in the long run? I hope that helps you out, Scorpios, and please give it a like if you've enjoyed it. We're going to go on to Sagittarius now. So Sagittarius, what do you need to know about your yes or no question, Sagittarius? We have got the Devil card here. So you are having to break free of negative cycles. I feel like many of you have been focused highly on your money and finances for now, as you kind of broke these negative cycles. Things had been starting to get better with you for your career and finances, but I feel like you feel quite stuck right now. So they had been progressing and now you feel a little bit stuck. You need to be a little bit more truthful about what do you really want to work towards. And I feel like one of the issues here with this, of why it's up in the air, why you don't have the answer yet, is somebody else in your life or somebody else you've been dealing with has been acting very negative and has been kind of spreading this nagging feeling of negative affirmations, which make you kind of worry and go, oh, is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? So I do feel like it is a big yes here with the King of Cups. So I do feel like there's going to be this brightness, this lightness to it. You do need to pull back your energy and stop communicating with the negative people, the people that are bringing you down, kind of feeding you negative lines, telling you to go into negative directions, because that's really going to cause a lot of your issues like later down the line. So I hope that helps you out though, Sagittarius. And we're going to move on now to the next group. So, Capricorns. What does the Capricorns need to know about the yes or no reading? What does Capricorns need to know about the yes or no reading? Your hard work is starting to pay off. You can start to see how your hard work is paying off. There is a little bit of an element here of you are still a little bit heartbroken, Capricorns. You're still kind of holding on to a lot of that sadness, but there is going to be this sudden change here when you let it go and release it. And that'll kind of bring about a lot of focus for you and a lot of momentum along the way. But you need to allow this to come in for you. This isn't something you're having to necessarily fight to make happen. You need to allow it to happen. Start enjoying yourself a little bit more, because the lack of enjoyment is blocking your manifestation, it's blocking the movement forward. Is it yes or no? I do feel like it's a yes. Like there's going to be abundant movement forward through here as well. But be careful you don't get obsessed with just the fact that things are going well, like, and forget to kind of do the hard work. Be careful about that. And with the Temperance card in reverse, things will rush forward quite quickly. But this is a big yes for you. Thank you for that, Capricorns. I hope that helps you out. And please give a like if it did. I'm going to move on to Aquarius now. So Aquarius, what do you need to know about your yes or no question? Oh, that one wanted to jump out. So you're getting a lot happier in yourself. And starting to pick up momentum. But there is still a lot of doubts and fears here and not trusting your own intuition. She's causing imbalance. You need to walk away from those kind of negative thoughts of yourself. You need to walk away from kind of putting yourself down. With the Strength card here, I do feel like you're having really good, strong connection coming in and building up your confidence. And all is not lost here. It's more of a kind of a speed bump, a bump in the road. Because you are regaining strength, you are regaining your confidence and a happiness. But understand that it's not always a straight line. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Anything else you need to know though? I do feel like this is a yes, but you may need to protect your manifestations. Whatever you're wanting to happen, you need to protect that emotionally. Because I feel like you may get emotional about it and react negatively because somebody else's opinions or what somebody else says, which then has a negative impact on what you're trying to do. But overall, this is a yes. This is you removing kind of burdens and be able to progress. I hope that helps you out, Aquarius. And if you would like more of these readings, please do let me know in the comments down below. So we have got now Pisces. So what does Pisces need to know today? What does Pisces need to know about the yes or no question? You're waiting for action. You're waiting for movement. You're quite a loving and caring person, and I feel like you're quite happy to wait because you know it's going to be worth it. You are kind of a little bit kind of getting to the point where you're focused on all the reasons why you can't do this or can't progress. And it's making you feel a little bit humble. So you've gone from kind of like being very trusting of it, and now you're kind of getting a little bit apprehensive because you're waiting so long. With the Page of Pentacles here though, I feel like it will take some time. Somebody older though will be helping you deal with this to break free of any kind of isolation. Although there is going to be slow momentum, I do feel like the momentum will still slowly occur. Slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day. Anything else? I do feel like this is a yes though. There's already been some positive communication about this. Other people are already emotionally invested. And I feel like you will be building up some connections as well. But this overall is a yes to your question. Alright, I hope that helps you out. And if you have enjoyed this, please do leave a comment down below. And I will see you all again soon. Hello there! Do you have a question that you really want to know the answer for? So this is a yes or no reading based on your star sign. So take a moment now and focus on your question. Remember, it must be a yes or no reading. And let me know in the comments section down below what star sign you are. And we're going to go through each of them now. So we're going to start off with Aries. So Aries, what do you need to know about your question, Aries? What do you need to know about this specific question? What do you need to know about this question? You're definitely feeling like you're fearing loss right now. You're scared of losing out. You're scared of missing out. And it's making you want to take sudden action. It's wanting you to make you want to rush forward and go, I don't know if I can take this anymore. And I do feel like with the Death card that here, it is leading to this stagnation. And you're feeling like the only way out of this is to take action, is to rush forward. But there is this fear about that if I do take this action, am I going to just mess things up? Are things just going to continue on getting worse and worse? Are things going to push forward and just get worse and worse? And you're worried about other people taking you seriously or not. With the Emperor card here though in reverse, this is because other people have kind of almost like taken advantage of you before. Like you've thought that they've been strong, you thought that they've been doing well or they've been progressing well, and it's just caused issues and it's just caused problems. I do feel like though you're having to get to this state of going, you know what? I realise now that the people that were around me before were not the healthiest people to be around. They weren't having my best interests. With the Star card, you chose to pull back from this, and you chose to keep on continuing on yourself, and actually starting to connect and continue on with other people who are much more balanced and have much more of the best interest out for you. So what's the answer to this question? Is it a yes or a no? Is this a yes or a no? So I do feel like this is a no, and I feel like what is blocking it here is the fact of lack of communication, not having the right people around you, not having the right connections, not having the right people to influence you. So I do feel like this is almost like, okay, if you want this to happen, you need to get into a new group of friends, or you need to get into a new group of people, and that'll help you to really continue on and help you to progress forward and help you to get that kind of more balanced state and more balanced momentum forward. So we're going to move on now to your next one, which is for Taurus. So Taurus, what do you need to know today? Is this a yes or a no? Taurus, what do you need to know about your question today? A lot of communication flying at you from every direction. And you're the one that's having to organise this. You're the one who's having to organise everything. I feel like this burden of like, I'm having to take control of everything. I'm having to listen to what everyone else says and then go, okay, well, this is what you need to do next. It's almost like a queen or a king sitting on a throne, and all the people come up and say, oh, you know, I'm upset because somebody stole my chicken. You know, there's almost that mentality to it that I'm having to deal with everyone else's problems, I'm having to deal with everybody else's pain without really having proper focus on myself or what I need to achieve or what I need to get done. There is an issue of like focus here. And I do feel like with the Queen of Cups here, this is bringing in so much more security and opulence to you. But it's getting to the point where you're like, I kind of want to break here. I kind of want to break. And by the materialistic opulence, I mean that like, even if the people aren't literally giving you money or helping you out financially, like the universe in turn is paying you back for your good deeds kind of mentality. But I feel like you're getting to the point of going, you know what, I need a bit of a break here. I need a little bit of time for myself. And you are actually able to manifest that. You are actually able to create this. With the Justice card, you will get justice. You will get fairness coming in. With the Ace of Cups here though, you're having to come to the realization of, I need to get that security for myself. I need to find that security for myself, because with the Nine of Swords here, there is an element of you're just getting drained by this over time. But what's the answer to your question? Is it a yes or a no? So I do feel like this is something that is a no that turns into a yes eventually. So over time this turns into a yes. There is going to be some issues with like having to deal with a lot, having to take on a lot of pressure and continue to like take on a lot, but I feel like although it might seem like a no at first, it will progress and transcend into a yes. But there is almost like this element of not enough time or not enough energy has been placed into it yet to make it into a full yes. And I do feel like that's a lot because you're having to take on other people's burdens. You're having to take on a lot in this world. So please bear that in mind. We're going to move on now. We're going to move on now to Gemini. So, Geminis. What does a Geminis need to know today? What does a Geminis need to know about their question today? With the King of Wands here, we've got a lot of communication coming in. But I feel like this is like demanding communication. This is like somebody coming up and saying, I need to tell you about this, I need to get you through this, I need you to do this. But they're not really valuing you, you're being undervalued in the same process. This is either a boss or somebody who looks down upon you or kind of like sees it as, it's okay for me to just tell you what to do. It's okay for me to just give you orders. And I do feel like you are waiting for communication from them. Like you're waiting for their judgment calls, you're waiting for their communication. I almost feel like saying, like, Gemini, stop waiting around for them. Like, they are not your be all and end all in life. Even if they are the boss, like, I almost wanted to say they're not the boss of you, but some of you, they might be literally your boss. And even though that they may be your boss, it doesn't mean that you have to put your entire life on hold to wait for them and wait for what they decide or what they discover, you know. You can kind of cut ties from this. And with the Strength card, I feel like you are lacking a little bit of confidence to tell them to shove off, you know. You're lacking that confidence to say, you know what, I'm not going to take it anymore. Your behaviour is bad, I'm just not going to take it anymore. And I do feel like with the Ten of Cups here, this is you kind of letting go and letting God. I do feel like that they aren't really offering the value here. You'll definitely be undervalued. Yeah, again, causing a lot of insecurity for you as well. And it's time for you to take action to move forward. If you continue waiting for this person, or waiting for this person to make a decision or to give you insight, etc., you're going to end up just waiting forever and never actually get that fulfillment you deserve. So be careful about that, be aware of that, because I feel like it is just dragging you down and down. The Page of Wands though, and the Six of Pentacles and the Star card. So I do feel like this is a yes, but it's almost like a mentality of what is blocking it right here is not really fully investing into it. Like, as we talked about that person before, you're investing in other people who you deem to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, but you're not really investing in yourself, which is a big major problem here. Because you're not investing in yourself, everything is just draining and taking a long time. So bear that in mind, because you're missing out on great opportunities here by waiting on other people. So bear that in mind. But I do feel like overall it is a yes. So we're going to move on now to Cancers. So Cancers. So Cancers. Cancers, what do the Cancers need to know today? What does the Cancers need to know today? Does the Cancers need to know about their yes or no question? You've been waiting for somebody to take action who's almost like dead as a doornail. Like, as in they're not taking action, they're not really doing anything. It's like you'd have to poke them to get any kind of reaction, you know. This person isn't really taking any of this seriously, and they're just kind of being a bit lazy. I don't feel like they're moving forward with any other aspects of their life. You're like, come on, come on, come on. Like, I'm waiting for you to take action. I feel like they don't really value a lot of things. not even just like valuing you, they don't value a lot of things. Like, it's almost like they got to a stage where they don't really see meaning in anything. Like, they are just so in this kind of drained mentality. They don't really see value or magic in anything, you know. Got the Queen, the Eight of Pentacles here. Again, lack of focus. I almost want to say the Queen of Pentacles here, but we haven't got the Queen of Pentacles. I do feel like there is this element here of they kind of had expectations of other people helping them, or other people kind of helping them to continue on. And there is a little bit like this mentality of like, I'm trying to move forward, I'm trying to continue on. But yeah, there's a lot of lack of worth here. There's a lot of lack of worth. It's almost like they'll get abundance, or they get things to move forward to as soon as they take themselves seriously. I feel like there's definitely this element here of them not taking themselves seriously. And with the Four of Swords, this is almost like getting to the realization that they need to find enjoyment first. But is this a yes or a no? I just want to make some more room here, Cancers. I'm definitely dealing with somebody who's a bit of a bomb right now, you know. Is this a yes or a no? I do feel like this is a no. They're not really showing any value to this. The blockage is the fact that they need to move forward. They're choosing not to move forward. It's almost like they're expecting other people to do it for them. But I do feel like overall this is a no. Just be careful about this person that you're dealing with, because whoever this is just going to be very draining, and he's just going to expect everyone else to do everything for them. So, I hope that helps you out, Cancers. We're going to move on now to Leo. So, Leos. What does Leos need to know today? Ooh, Leo, that one to pop out. You're choosing to pull back your energy here. You're choosing to make yourself the star of the show. You're walking away from opportunities of others because you start to see your own value, your own worth. So this is you choosing to walk away from some offers, choosing to walk away from some people, because you know you deserve more than that. You know you are worth more than that. And you're having to juggle a lot because of this. Like, you've been having to juggle a lot. You've been having to take on a lot because of other people. So you're choosing to leave those offers that do not serve you behind. There is an element here though with this Six of Wands on reverse of not having communication, not having any communication coming forward. And I feel like you had been left in the dark by these people or this person for a while. And now you're choosing your own happiness over what they may say or what they may think. And I do feel like this is good, because this is you kind of removing those blockages for yourself. This is getting yourself more free, getting yourself more emboldened. But is it a yes or a no? I definitely feel like this is a yes, but there is an element here with the Eight of Swords of having to kind of take the blindfold off, having to see things a little bit more clearly. And I feel like communication is the one thing that's holding this back. And I almost feel like this is clear communication of you speaking your truth, you saying what you think, what you mean, what you want, rather than waiting on others. You're choosing to speak up for yourself, your own desires, your own needs. Because I feel like that's the only real way you're going to kind of really get out of this stuck pattern and this stuck behaviour. I'm going to move on now to Virgos though. So, Virgos. What does Virgos need to know today? What does Virgos need to know today? Virgos, with the Eight of Pentacles here. There's definitely issues here of worry about losses. Yeah, there's definitely an element here of like self-worth, of feeling like I am striding towards my self-worth, I'm striding towards what I am worth. But there's a little bit element here of like, it is kind of drag or draining us. You will be getting communication though soon to kind of help you to progress this forward. And I feel like it's that element of security. Am I going to get security? Am I going to feel secure in things? Am I going to feel the strength in things? That is going to bring you that kind of breath of fresh air here. But a lot of communication and a lot of like almost like networking is to be had. But you are manifesting this. You are manifesting a better change, a better new progression for you. Don't rush to action though, because you may not see it very clearly at first because people haven't had time to really speak their truth or really say what they mean. So you need to take a little bit of a step back from that to give yourself time and energy. But I feel like overall this is a quite positive one. Is this a yes or a no then? Yes, I do feel like it is a yes. There is going to be positive communication here. One thing I would say though with the Page of Pentacles is almost like there's like lack of balance. There's lack of balance, lack of offers right now, but yes, you will end up getting those offers through eventually. But I feel like overall the answer to the question is a yes. But this is almost like offers are being made to you eventually. There will be a little bit of slowdown first, but eventually yes. I hope that helps you out though, Virgos. I'm going to move on now to Libras. So Libras, what does Libras need to know today about their question? You're getting movement forward here, Libras. And I feel like this is definitely in the area of career and finance, a lot of movement forward coming in for you. But you're having to pull your energy back right now from things that do not serve you, things that are draining, things that are just not good for you. And this is allowing yourself to free yourself from like kind of almost the monotony of it. Almost like the mentality of like, oh, nothing ever happens, it's just round and round in circles, you know. There is issues here with communication, particularly with people actually speaking, saying what they mean, basically. Speaking up, saying what they mean. And I do feel like with the Nine of Wands here, there is issues with the communication coming in. But with the King of Swords here, you can take action in this, you can rush forward, you can head forward. But I feel like you're choosing not to at this moment. You're choosing not to pursue people to kind of get them to speak up and say their mind, to move things in momentum. You're choosing to walk away from that. You're choosing to continue on regardless, basically. But is this a yes or a no? Is the answer to your question a yes or a no? I do feel like this is a no. It feels like there's lack of movement forward here. Lack of momentum. But I do feel like you'll be offered something else instead. So although this is a no, it feels like either something similar or something better will take its place. So do understand that sometimes no's happen so something better can come in. And I do feel like that's what's coming in here, is something else is having to happen in order to get the momentum elsewhere. So I hope that helps you out. We're going to go on to the next one today, which is Scorpios. So Scorpios, what do the Scorpios need to know today? What do the Scorpios need to know today about their question? Sun card, a lot of commitment coming in for you, committing to things. Many of you are literally commitment in love life, commitment in marriage, commitments in general, but overall commitment. Many of you, this is literally going to be commitment in love with the Lovers card. And the reason why you're worried about this is because the person or the situation you're worried about for commitment from, they're not really taking action. They do value you, but they're not taking action. You are trying to manifest this though. You're trying to create this step into reality, both through like trying to manifest, but also communication and actually taking control. You're definitely putting a lot of effort in this. I feel like the only problem is that the person you're dealing with, you think they are more capable than they actually are. Not necessarily in a bad way, but sometimes when we think people are more capable than they actually are, we kind of have these expectations of them of thinking, oh, they're going to be great, they're just going to go forward. And they never really kind of push it or pursue it. And that causes a little bit of an issue of how we move forward and how we create that momentum. There's definitely an element here though with the Ace of Cups, sorry, the Ten of Cups here, of lack of work. I do feel like this is a no, and again, because this is like people not putting effort or time into this, I do feel like it's a little bit because they are incapable of putting that time or effort in right now. So bear that in mind, that although I do feel like if they want to, they physically can't put effort in this right now, which is causing it to be a no. Alright, I hope that helps you out. I hope it gives you the clarification you need. And we're going to move on now to Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know today about that question? What does Sagittarius need to know today about that question? The Queen of Pentacles here, you're definitely getting more value into your life. I almost feel like this is like you're saying, I'm getting more value for the amount of hours I'm spending. So like, there's the concept that some people spend 5 hours working and they do nothing. Some people spend an hour working and they do 10 times more than that person that spent 5 hours. So understand that sometimes it's not about the amount you're working, it's the quality of the work you're putting in. And although you have been trying, your work effort is paying off more right now than it had before. This is giving you more time for like your emotions, to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to relax. And I feel like with the World card, allow yourself to get more movement forward and more momentum in your life in general. I do feel like with the Devil card though, there is this element of you cutting things off and going for a whole new beginning, whole new start. And with the Nine of Wands here, I do feel like there is a little bit of an issue with communication coming in. And it's miscommunication more than anything. I do feel like you can correct this miscommunication through like offering a grapevine, offering like basically peace, offering to explain it a little bit more. Because I feel like it's more miscommunication, not somebody not listening or not somebody just disagreeing. It's just that communication issue here that it feels like it's coming in with. Is this a yes or a no? I do feel like this is a no that will turn into a yes. But it almost feels like not without hard work. So I do feel like at this present time it's a no, but it's something that can be turned into a yes because of the way you kind of work hard at it, the way that you put energy into it. It's a little bit stuck right now. It needs a little bit of a push off. It needs a little bit more momentum to make it into a yes. But I feel like this is a transitional one that can transition into a yes with the right hard work, with the right effort. So we're going to go into the next one now, which is Capricorn. So Capricorns, what do you need to know about your question today, Capricorns? With the Nine of Cups here, there is an issue here of being devalued. And I feel like it's devalued as a person. You're waiting for other people to approach you, other people to come towards you, but because they're devaluing you, they're not bothering to give you the time of day, not bothering to connect with you, keeping a lot of their emotions back, keeping secrets, that kind of thing. You need to take action on this though, because they're never really going to value you until you put your foot down, until you take action. They're constantly going to be kind of walking all over you. There is an element here though with the Strength card, you're lacking the confidence to actually pursue this, to actually speak your mind. And I feel like more than anything that's your big task here is, how can I start to learn to speak my mind? How can I start to learn to communicate better? Is this a yes or a no though? This is a no, but it can become a yes in time. This is a no because of lack of commitment, lack of communication. I almost feel like something that's very similar to this will come in as a yes later on. But with this particular question, it is a no because of this issue with the lack of commitment. And I feel like it's other people's lack of commitment, not yours. So do understand that sometimes it's because you've got people around you that aren't really taking things seriously, that things don't really pan out. Alright, I hope that helps you out. And we're going to go on next to the next reading, which is Aquarius. So, Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know today? You've definitely been planning for the future here. Biding your time, planning for the future, making plans, making preparations. And it's almost like a mentality of like, I spent all this time trying to make plans here, and the universe or like people in general are not respecting that. They're not taking it very seriously. Again, they're not taking it very seriously. You're having to slow down a bit here, because if you continue on at the same kind of momentum, you will not be happy or enjoying it, because you'll feel a little bit like, well, you know what, I'm putting all this effort in, I'm getting nothing back in return. And this is you choosing to walk away from it. It's like you're taking everything you've planned, you've taken all the things you've put momentum in and put time in and put plans in, taking it off and going into a new direction with it. Because those around you aren't really valuing what you've done, kind of thing. Is this a yes or a no, though? So, I do feel like this is a yes, but there is some slowdown here. Be careful about it taking a long time to materialise, or a long time to happen, to move forward. Because of lack of action, and I feel like it's because you're giving other people or giving this situation the benefit of the doubt, and it's kind of slowing you down because of that. When you start to see that things just aren't progressing how you think they should, instead of just giving it more time, break away, go into the new direction, continue on, and that'll give you a lot more momentum here. So we're going to move on to the next one now, which is Pisces. So Pisces, what does Pisces need to know today about the question? What does Pisces need to know today about the question? Issues with actual momentum here, actually putting the effort in here. And this is almost like because you're contemplating, you'll know it's going to take a lot of time and energy. So you're almost like taking a back seat of saying, I'm not going to take action right now. I want to understand this right now, and then I want to plan out my next move. I do feel like you're going to pull up your energy back from taking action and back from other people, so you can get a bit of a clearer view ahead. You can get a bit of a clearer view of where you are pursuing to, where you continue on to, that kind of thing. So it's giving you a better idea of what is going on. With the Tower card though, there is slowdown here, lack of action. With the 9 of Cups here, it's almost like feeling like people are devaluing what you are offering. You will get justice and movement forward here though. I feel like this is a temporary step back more than anything. Well, is this a yes or a no? I feel like it's a yes, but there is temporary setbacks, having to cut off communication, not really being seen as worthwhile, but it will end up progressing forward to a yes, do something worthwhile in the end. The only thing I'd say is, like, this isn't a straight path. This really isn't a straight path. This is going to take a lot of time and energy out of you to continue on and continue that momentum. Alright, I hope that helps you out, and I will see you all again soon. This is the ultimate outcome of you and your person. So what do you need to know about how is the connection between you and them going to go? How are they feeling about you? And generally what is going on between the two of you? So I'm going to start out now. And I'm going to start out with Aries. So what is the ultimate outcome for you and your person? So beginning with Aries, what is the ultimate outcome for you and your person? So they are going to try and communicate with you. They're not going to rush to action though. They're going to try to talk to you, get closer to you, kind of talk things out. I feel like they're really reluctant to take the first move, to take action on this. Like, they do want to come towards you, but it's almost like they're playing a little bit of coy. I don't want to kind of give things away too quickly. I don't want to kind of show my hand too fast. And I feel like here it's because almost like they're worried about the long-term ramifications. So if I kind of give out a bit too much away right now, is it going to cause issues? Is it going to cause problems? But ultimately, like, how is this going to move forward? I do feel like there's been issues here of all talk and no action. I feel like this person is just going to talk, give a little, like breadcrumb all the way, until you kind of get to the stage of going, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. You're not really taking it seriously. I feel like for anything serious to come out of this, you are going to have to be the one that puts down those lines and say, this is what I want, this is what I expect. But I feel like they're just going to keep dragging things out. This is a person who wants you in their life, who wants contact with you, but ultimately just does not want to give that long-term stability. This is partly to do with fear of missing out on like another relationship, other connections, how it's going to affect them long-term. They just don't have like the guts or the kind of like strength of character to really go, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to put everything on the line here for you. And I feel like there is a little bit of an issue of emotional disconnection here. Like, they are disconnected a little bit from this emotionally. Like, yes, they do care about you, yes, they do have attraction, but they're not really wanting to fully commit. You know, when you fully commit to something, you're like, I'm gonna go towards you no matter what, even if it hurts me, because being without you, losing you, hurts more than anything else. And unfortunately, they just haven't really got to this stage. I would really be careful about their words though. Like I said, like, they're gonna try and butter you up. They're gonna try and tell you that they love you. They're gonna try and tell you that I'm gonna commit to this. But look at their actions. Look, what are they really physically doing here? Because that's really going to tell you their full intentions. Actions speak louder than words, and they are just talk. You know, really be careful about this. Set in mind the idea of what you want and say, this is the date I want it by. You know, give an ultimatum, give timelines, give expectations. Because if you just give them space, they are just going to kick it further down the road, kick the can further and further and further, and it's going to get more and more draining for you. Many of you, I feel like you're going to have to just walk away from this because they're not really going to commit to the kind of level that you would want them to or expect them to, unfortunately. So you're going to have to think, what do I really want long term? And what do I really am willing to let go of to actually have them still in my life? I feel like what they're willing to give you is not worth what you are sacrificing. So we're going to move on now to Taurus. So what is the ultimate outcome for you and your partner, you and your person? What is the ultimate outcome for you and your person? How are they feeling and thinking about you right now? This person is feeling a little bit hopeless, a little bit disconnected from you, a little bit like, oh, you're just choosing to walk away from me, I've lost you. They're definitely not taking action right now, but it's like they want security with you, but they fear that they have lost you. This is somebody almost like sleepless nights, like they feel like they've lost you, they feel like they've missed out on this. It's almost like they think that they've lost this opportunity with you already. Will they actually take action towards you? Not at the moment, but I feel like it's because they feel like they're stuck. They feel like you do not want them. They feel like that you don't want them around. They feel like it's hopeless them chasing after you. But you will get justice in this. I don't feel like it'll be movement forward very quickly, at least. But ultimately, like, will you get movement forward with them, though? Yes, I feel like they will. You will get confirmation from them, communication from them. I feel like there is an element here of that it may be delayed because they have to pull away for a little bit first. They have to build themselves up. They have to overcome this sadness, not just to do with you, but that greater sadness within themselves. They're having to overcome that sadness first. They're having to get to the point where they can speak up without fear of what other people's judgment will be. But they do want to have a communication with you, and I feel like they will reach out. So I feel like things will move forward with them, because they are very serious about you, but they feel like at the moment that all is lost. I do feel like this is heavily influenced due to issues with themselves. So they look very negatively on themselves, they look very badly at themselves, they look down on themselves a lot, and this kind of pushes them away from you. So we're going to have a look going forward though, but they do want to actually be in a relationship with you, and I feel like ultimately they will commit to that. But I give them time, give them space, give them the kind of capacity to actually build themselves up so they can come back towards you in a much stronger and confident way. So we're going to move on now to Geminis. Geminis, what about your person? How are they thinking and feeling about you and the outcome eventually? What are they thinking and feeling about you right now though? They're feeling like there's no movement forward here. Like, we have fun, we enjoy ourselves together, but where is this going? And I feel like you're asking that, but they're asking that as well. Like, you're both in this stage of like, we enjoy like our company together, we enjoy talking together, but where is this going? Like, do you want to be with me? You know, that kind of thing. It's like they want something with you. They do want something with you, but you're both looking at each other and going, I really want to be with them, but I don't really know where this is going. Both of you are like really shy and cautious about this. Both of you are not really admitting how much you want this. Like, both of you are kind of enjoying the time together, or you enjoy your company together. But neither one of you are wanting to actually openly admit that you want more than just fun. Like, you want something really serious here and you're willing to commit to it. And I feel like both of you are kind of like at this part where you're like, I'm not really sure if it's a good idea. Like, you don't want to scare each other off, that kind of thing. You're both very focused on each other though. I don't feel like there's a risk of like anybody else getting involved or anything like that here. You're both kind of overcoming this sadness, but you both haven't fully embraced that self-growth yet. There is both of you need some a little bit more self-growth down the line to help you to become the confident people that you are. Yes, you've got yourselves to a happier place. Yes, you've got yourselves to a happier state. But you're really kind of needing to kind of focus on how do I do that self-improvement to just get myself a little bit more over that line. So the emotional disconnection is more to do with that, the need for self-improvement at the moment. But ultimately, like, will you actually make it work? Will you come together? Yeah, I feel like you will. It may be a bit unstable though. Here, maybe not like the long term. I feel like most of you will be more like together a few months or a few years. But I feel like although this is a very influential relationship, many of you I feel like won't be together long term. A couple of you will. I feel like some of you will make it work, but most of you it feels like you won't be together long term. It'll be more of an influential relationship where you spend a few years together, you spend some time together, you transform yourselves into bigger and better people. I don't feel like it's a nasty relationship though. This is quite a loving, caring one. It's more of a sense of like eventually you may outgrow each other. Eventually you may get to a point where you've kind of learnt everything you can from this relationship and you move on to something better. And I feel like ultimately that's kind of quite a big positive here, because you're really kind of becoming who you need to be rather than being settled into who you were before. But like I said, I feel like for many of you this isn't long term. This is more of a serious but short term relationship. So over a period of years, possibly even months, but I feel more like years down the line. So we're going to go on now to the next one, which is Cancers. Cancers. What do you need to know about you and your person? What's the ultimate outcome? How are they feeling about you right now? This person is acting very distant. They're acting very nonchalant, like, I don't care. I'm fine. I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. I'm not taking this serious at all. They're holding back communication. Not really taking much action. This person is acting really nonchalant to you. You're coming in hard. You're giving them their old emotion. You're doing everything you can. You're bending over backwards for this person. You are working hard at this. Like, you know, you're putting the effort and they're like, oh, yeah, it's fine. I feel like they're treating you like you're an option, which I really don't like about this. They're treating you as if you're an option. And I do feel like they have a bit of a negative affirmation about love here with the reverse of the Magician card. Like, it's almost like they expect relationships all to end badly. Like, all relationships are going to end up with people splitting up. Like, there's no such thing of love. That kind of mentality, that kind of negative thought patterns, thought cycles with love. This person you're connecting with has so many of those, and you're like trying desperately to show them that love exists. Unfortunately, if people want to believe something, they will believe it. So no matter how much you try to convince them, to show them that love exists, they're gonna just ignore it. They're sitting there with their fingers in their ears, their eyes closed, going la la la, I can't hear you. You know? They're choosing not to listen. They're choosing not to embrace that love exists. And I feel like for many of you, this is because this person has dealt with so much pain, so much anguish to do with love. They just, emotionally, they feel like they can't deal with it anymore. All is not lost though. I feel like there is something still to salvage from this. And this is learning for you how to put up boundaries, how to kind of learn to limit yourself, how to kind of give to a connection but still protect yourself in the process. So I feel like for many of you this is a karmic connection that was coming in to teach you Cancers how to hold a little bit back. Not in a negative way, but like how to kind of protect yourself from people who take advantage, who take the mick, who drain your time, who take your power away from you. How do you limit the access they have to you and thus protect yourself from that? So it is a very important relationship here, but it definitely feels like it's not one that's going to end up in a long-term relationship. I'd really say be really cautious about how much energy you're putting in. Make sure you're not kind of just giving and giving and giving, because ultimately I feel like that's one of your biggest risks here, is you are going to continually give, and whoever this person is just going to take. So be careful, because you deserve so much better than that, so much more than that. You deserve to get the kind of love and appreciation that will help you to continue and help you to progress forward. But I feel like this person is just not being respectful of you or your time. So be careful about that. Be careful about the energy you're putting in. So, we're going to go on now to Leos. So, lovely Leos. What do you need to know about you and your person? What is the ultimate outcome? What do you need to know about you and your person? So this person is a bit disconnected from you right now. I definitely feel like this is a person that's disconnected, either they have pulled away from you completely, like you're not in contact. Or they're just a little bit emotionally disconnected. I feel like many of you are getting messages from Spirit in general about them. You can still feel them, you can still sense them, but on the 3D plane, they are pulled away. 3D plane, they are kind of like distant from you. They're not taking action right now, and I feel like for many of you this is because they're not very secure about that. They feel like, you know, you've moved on, you wouldn't be interested, that kind of thing. Ultimately, how do they feel about you? Like, I love being around you, I enjoy being around you, but I don't feel like this is going anywhere. I don't feel like there is any security here. They definitely do love you, they want communication, but they feel like it is stagnant. They feel like it's the end of the story, not like a beginning or a middle. You know. Is this ultimately the end for you two, though? No, I don't feel like it is. Like, there is definitely some obstacles in the way here, some elements of issues coming through. Like, you are waiting for their communication, though. Are they actually going to communicate? Yes. Once they get balance in their life, that's when they're going to communicate. That's when they're going to get the bravery to do that. So ultimately, yes, they will communicate. Many of you, this is going to be before the end of the year. Some of you, it's going to be in the summertime, but definitely before the end of the year for most of you. But this person, timing, be aware, it's different for everyone. The main issue with the timing, though, is they need to sort their shit out first. They need to sort their life out first. And that's what I feel like they're needing. They're needing that balance first. So that's what's causing the disconnection with the communication. Nothing can really move forward until then. I'm just going to make some more room, though. Because I feel like there is something else to be said about this, though. What else can you tell me about this? They won't communicate, they won't move forward while they're in this period of lack. I feel like their thoughts create their reality here, and their thoughts are lack, lack, lack. I haven't got money, I haven't got friends, I haven't got relationships, I haven't. They're pulling themselves down more and more into sadness every day. I would be really careful about getting too invested in this right now. They have a lot of things they need to work through. They have a lot of things they need to go through first. Take care of yourself for a bit, but like I said, I feel like ultimately they will be back around. We're going to look into how they're going to act when they go back around, though. They won't move forward straight away, but they will make it known to you that they are still thinking about you. This is almost like coming towards you as a friendship, a little bit of flirtation, testing the waters a little bit, because they don't want to make it awkward. They don't want to come back around and go, oh my god, I love you so much, let's be together. Yeah, because they know that that'll be unfair to you, it'll make it a little bit awkward, a little bit strange, you know. So they're coming back around more, kind of testing the waters, and then they'll speak their truth. So expect them to almost come around first as like friends, or just checking out how you're doing, that kind of thing. And then ultimately, as they start to flirt a little bit more, then they'll come back around. So I hope that helps you out, Leos. We're going to move on now to the next one, which is Virgos. So we're going to look into Virgos now. Virgos, what is the ultimate outcome for you and your partner? Or you and your person? There's always this mentality here that you don't feel like they're really kind of valuing this connection, they're not really valuing this. I do feel like they actually are looking towards the long term here. But there's definitely this issue here of lack of respect. Like, they're acting like they're not valuing it, they're behaving like they're not valuing it. I feel like it's more of an issue than communication more than anything. I feel like that your guides and their guides are trying to get them to communicate better and express themselves better. Because yes, they are definitely not being respectful towards you, and they're definitely not showing you that they value this. There's definitely issues surrounding that. More than anything though, with the Six of Wands here, I do feel like they are kind of a little bit more reserved. Like, they don't really think of the actions that they create. They don't really think of the long-term ramifications of their actions. With the Ace of Wands here, I do feel like they want communication, but with the Eight of Cups here, there is this element here of instability. Like, they want to come towards you, but they don't really know how to express it properly. There will be an issue here of back and forth, but I feel like actually ultimately you will work this out. You do need to be very clear on what you want. It's no use just saying, oh, I want you to be more appreciative of me, because they don't really know what that means. Like, it's fine for you to say, look, I want us to have a date night every week where we go out and do something nice. That's fair enough. But if you just say in general, I want more intimacy, or I want you to communicate with me more, it's too vague. Like, they need more clear instruction of what they have to do, because they're really not sure. They really don't know how to end up moving this forward and progressing this. It is very confusing for them, and ultimately it is making them struggle. So I do feel like there is an element here of them pulling back a little bit because of this, and not really sure, like, how do I continue on? Feeling a little bit like you're devalued, that kind of thing. And ultimately, it's not due to lack of action or want to take action, it's lack of knowing how to take action. So there is issues here of knowing how to take action, etc. But I feel like over time they will come back around from this. And I feel like through proper communication, ultimately you will have a very good and respectful relationship. It's just more of an issue of how do we kind of explain how we feel, how do you explain how you feel, how do you explain what you want, that kind of thing. It's more communication more than anything else. Alright, I'm going to move on now to the next one, which is Libras. So, Libras, how is the person feeling about you right now? What is the overall outcome? What is the permanent outcome for you and your person? They do have a lot of negative affirmations here. They have these presumptions that you have multiple options, you have other people around you. They have these like world expectations that you're going to be having other people who want you. It's almost like they expect you to walk away from them. They expect you to forget about them. They expect you to move on to somebody else. All is not lost here though. I do feel like you can salvage this, but it's almost like due to their negative thought cycles and negative thought patterns, they have this ultimate expectation that everybody I love is going to leave me. Everybody I love doesn't care about me. Everybody I love doesn't want to be with me. They have all these kind of negative affirmations about themselves, which is keeping them kind of preventing them from moving forward, preventing them from continuing, preventing them from creating this long-lasting relationships and connections they really deserve. So there is a lot of issues with that. Can you tell me more about like their issue with it? It is issues of self-worth that has been stuck with them for a long time. Some of them literally from childhood. Others of you, it's to do with the fact of their past relationships. But I feel like many of you, this is literally something they've had since childhood. And it's like as soon as they get close to somebody, they have expectation of, I'm too happy, I can't be happy, I can't have a good life, so something bad must happen. So they're almost like expecting it to happen. But ultimately, although they feel like they are unworthy, they will take a leap of faith with this. They will try to cut the cord of allowing this to end, because they don't want this to end, that's for sure. I do feel like you need to help them and to work with them with boosting up their self-esteem, bringing in more enjoyment, bringing more laughter into both of your life, because that's ultimately going to help you to bridge this gap between them wanting to be with you and feeling like they can't have you. There is this huge gap of them feeling like they can't have you. They're not trying to pull away, but because they feel like they can't possibly have this, it is pushing them away from you. So it is something that needs a lot of hard work, but ultimately I do feel like you can actually move this forward. Like I said, the only reason I'm saying like ultimately you can rather than you will, it's going to take both work from your side and their side to make this happen. Like a lot of hard work here, building up their self-esteem, building up this relationship, and helping them to allow themselves to trust the fact that you're not just going to go off with somebody else, you know? It's something they're having to work through, it's something they're definitely having to process through. So, I'm going to move on now to the next one, which is Scorpios. So, Scorpios. Scorpios, how is ultimately you and your person? There is going to be fun and enjoyment here, like a lot of fun and enjoyment, and I feel like both of you are going to be enjoying each other's companies, having fun together a lot more. It's more a lack of like long term. It's like we're having fun together, we're enjoying ourselves together, but it's all very casual, it's all just a bit fun and casual. And they are trying to be straight with you. They don't really focus, they're not really seeing any movement forward right now. They are trying to say, look, I'm just trying to keep my options open, I'm just trying to have fun, I don't really want to be settled down yet, that kind of mentality. So they are trying to keep it casual, they're trying to be honest with you about that. But will they eventually kind of make this into something serious? I don't feel like ultimately they're going to make this into something serious. Like, they're going to keep it as like a casual relationship, casual connection. But I don't feel like they're going to get to the level of commitment that you want. This is somebody who's a little bit afraid of too much commitment. Ultimately, this is because last time they got that level of commitment with somebody, the person used it as a noose around their neck. So this person used it as a way to control them, a way to stop them, a ball and chain, you know, that kind of thing. Ultimately, last time they had a serious relationship, the person was all nice, and then as soon as they got into a serious commitment, the person started controlling them, started to dictate their life. So there is a huge fear here of going, I ultimately don't want that. I don't want somebody to control me, somebody to dictate my life, somebody to say, this is what you can and can't do. So they do have fear around that. So I feel like any kind of push towards that, they are going to reject and ultimately run from. Is there anything else you can tell me about this connection though? They will still want to stay in contact with you, but I almost feel like because they won't give you the commitment, you'll choose not to continue on with this. I feel like because you won't get the commitment you want, I feel like ultimately you'll choose to walk away. But again, this is very much a choice. I'd just be careful about serious commitments with them, because although they do care about you and value you, they have so much phobia around commitments, they just can't commit right now. It definitely isn't anything to do with like they just don't want to commit to you but they'll commit to others. It's very much this mentality of, I don't really want to commit to anybody because I'm afraid of the repercussions, I'm afraid of what might happen, etc. So they are choosing very much to be pulled away, to run away, to avoid that kind of behaviour. So very avoidant, so I would be careful about that. So we're going to move on now to the next one, which is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius. Ultimately, what is the outcome of you and your person? You and this person, what is the outcome of it? How are they feeling about you right now, straight away? This person has been trying to offer you a connection here, but I feel like either the timing wasn't right or you literally rejected it. There was definitely a barrier here outside of your control and their control. And I feel like many of you, this was literally like, you both kind of wanted this to happen, but it was the right person, wrong time. They feel very secure in having a connection with you. They want to offer security to you, but there is lack of action here. I feel like it's more to do with the fact that because there was this barrier before, it's making them cautious on making a move. It's making them reluctant to make a move, because what if I kind of connect with you and I get rejected again? You know, what if that happens? There is a fearfulness surrounding this of, what if I get rejected? All is not lost here though. Like, you know, it still can be salvaged. I don't feel like it's salvageable yet though. This will take quite a long time to figure out, to sort out. I feel like there is some negative affirmations that you have and they have about the relationship of, it could never work, it's never going to happen. And both of you need to switch your mindsets first. You both can't see that the other person wants to be with you. So you're devaluing this connection, you're kind of like writing it off. Will you ultimately be together before the end of the year though? I feel like there is an issue here with communication, so you might not be, but I feel like many of you, yes you will, but this will take communication on your part. So if you want to be with this person, you need to chase after them again, or chase after them, because they really have this expectation of, you are not interested in right now, you're not really wanting to be with me, so they are choosing to close themselves off to love right now. So we're going to go on now to the next one, which is Capricorn. So Capricorn, what do you need to know today? How is this person thinking and feeling about you? And what is the overarching outcome? What is the ultimate outcome? How is this person thinking and feeling about you? They're waiting for your communication here, Capricorn, but they don't feel very worthy of it. They feel like, oh, you might have given up on me, like I'm not worthy of your connection, like this isn't going to move forward. Like, they really see it as like, oh, nothing's going to move forward, but I'm waiting for you to reach out. I want you to reach out. I want to connect with you. They want to really offer you the world, but they haven't done the self-improvement necessarily yet to be together. I feel like there is some things they need to improve about themselves first, which I feel like is the reason why you haven't reconnected. It's less to do with like you actually wanting, not wanting to reconnect. It's more the universe going, okay, you both want to connect together, you both want to be together, but we need to make sure you do all these self-improvements first so you can come together in a more better aligned way, more healthy way. So there is a need here to do some self-improvement. I do feel like ultimately though, this person is going to focus on the long-term stability here, long-term connections, and I feel like ultimately I feel like you will forge a long-term connection. A little bit of a blockage, like I said though, this is more to do with both of you doing self-improvement first. Sometimes that does happen in relationships. You have to both go off in different directions, do some self-improvement, then come back into alignment. And this is because these lessons would not have been learned through disconnection, through like not being together. You wouldn't have learned those lessons if you were together. So you need this time of disconnection to learn your lessons, to be able to come towards each other and then progress on. So we're going to move on now, but I hope that helps you out, Capricorn. We're going to move on now to Aquarius. Aquarius, what is your ultimate outcome for you and this person? First of all, what are they thinking and feeling about you right now? They're trying to come towards you already, Aquarius, but they don't know how, so they're not taking action, but they're trying to. They're wanting to take action. They're almost like thinking up ways, but they don't know how to. They feel a little bit emotionally distant from you, and like you wouldn't take them very seriously right now. So it's almost like they're planning, they're coming to these thoughts in their head, well, if I tried it like this, how would they react? If I did this, if I did that. They're planning out different scenarios in their head, of how that you might react if they try to come back towards you. So if they tried to connect to you, if they tried to come into a relationship, how would it play out? They don't really know yet. They're trying to work that out. With the Two of Cups here, I won't say the Five of Wands, but the Two of Cups here, there is definitely a connection here. Both of you still feel each other. Both of you still feel connected, even though I feel like you are apart, or at least emotionally distant. Neither of you feel secure enough to really speak your mind, speak your voice, and ultimately that's the problem. Both of you need to speak up, both of you need to express how you truly feel, but both of you are holding back. You're both biding your time until things look clearer, until you can get an obvious idea of what happens next, what you should do next, etc. There is this worry here. But I feel like with the Tower card in reverse, I don't feel like things are going to move forward very quickly. So, are you actually going to move forward? Yeah, ultimately you will come back together and actually have more of a stable relationship and stable connection and a really well-suited connection. But both of you are kind of learning to be a bit braver, learning to express what you really want, learning to kind of talk about what you really need. And I don't feel like either of you are quite at that position yet to admit fully what you need or what you want. It's a little bit of a juggling game here, and neither one of you are ready to take that action. So very delayed here, but ultimately I feel like when both of you have the courage to, you will come back around. So we're going to go into Pisces now. So Pisces, what is the ultimate outcome between you and your person? This person is going to take things very slowly here and wants to take things slowly. Because when they get into a relationship, they play for keeps. They don't mess around. They're trying to get a fair, just relationship for them. I feel like for many of you in the past, this person had somebody who was either literally just after them for the money, but in general just after what they could get from them. So this person wants a fair relationship now, so they're taking things very slowly with you. They're trying to suss out what kind of a person you are, what kind of behaviours do you take up, how will you treat them. With the Hermit card in reverse, there is a lot of people around them that are kind of distracting them from you right now. I don't feel like they're chasing anybody else, but it makes it very difficult for them to understand what's going on between you and them when they feel like they're in defense mode because of all these other people. So they are being very defensive right now, trying to work out what they should do next, where they should go from here. Ultimately though, with the Star card, I do feel like this is them pulling back a little bit here. They need better communication skills, they need to be able to come back towards you with better communication. But ultimately, I feel like you will work things out. I just don't feel like it's necessarily going to be the quickest, but I do feel like actually it's going to be good in the end. I just feel like there's a little bit of slowness here, which I don't like, a little bit of slowness coming in. But ultimately, I do feel like this is actually going to be quite good and quite a good connection. Anything else you can tell me about this? They will offer you a good connection in the end though, but it's more of a right person, wrong time. There is a bit of a timing issue here with how that they understand whether or not it's healthy or good for them to love, or good for them to connect. So, I hope that helps you out, and I will see you again soon. This is what you don't see coming. We're going to do an overview to begin with for the collective, and then do each of the individual star signs. Please check out your sun, moon and rising. So we're going to see now. So what is it you don't see coming right now? What do you not see coming for the collective? The Page of Cups here, you don't see an offer coming in. You've been kind of a little bit in hermit mode, kind of just getting on with your own things. And I feel like other people have been seeing that. It's almost like they're seeing how you shine and they're wanting to come through with an offer because of that. because of how well they see you doing. Some of you this is love, others of you this is finances. Many of you this is finances though. They are going to come through more communication at first, like saying how are you, like how are you doing, let's chat. They won't make a move straight away. They'll come in more as a friendly kind of like a how are you doing, what's happening with you, before sliding into the whole actually you know what, this is what is coming in, this is what we need, like can you do this for us, can I make you this offer? And this is almost like trying to ease their way into your life. This person could talk for England though. They're very good at just talking and talking people into it, because they don't feel like they have much to offer, so they feel like they have to be a really good salesperson, you know? So they don't feel like anybody would actually want what they're offering unless they convince people of it. With the Seven of Pentacles here though, there is this element of actually focusing on the long term. And I feel like they've been trying to burden themselves with trying to do stuff for the here and now. Like, I want to like sort this out for next week or next month, and everything's a bit of a burden, everything is just being overwhelming. And I do feel like there is this element here of like they're having to kind of work out how to continue on and how to move forward from here. And I feel like this is almost like a burden here. This is like overwhelmingness. I would be careful though that with this overwhelmingness, like sometimes people can go down like the wrong path in life, and you can suggest to them, well, you know, maybe you should do this, that and the other, and it can be very valid ways to fix their problems, but it doesn't mean that they're actually going to do it, you know. So don't feel bad about the fact that this person has burdens and has issues. Even if you did come around to them and had a conversation with them before now, they would not have listened to you, they would not have improved things, they would not have continued on with things. They would have just kind of got into this state of almost like denying themselves what they wanted, that kind of thing. So I do feel like there is just an element here of like, I can't really focus on this right now, I can't really focus on where we're going right now, that kind of thing. So there is an element here of I can't really focus on this, like I find it hard right now, I find it hard to focus on it. And it's because they kind of had taken on too much and they're unwilling to let that go. So do bear in mind that as much as you want to help this person, you can't help them in the past. Like, they have these burdens for their own reasons. The only thing you can do here is like really kind of accept what they're offering right now. Don't try and fix their past or other issues. Just embrace being with them and being around them. Is there anything else you need to know about this though? There is going to be a little bit of emotional stagnation here, of you feeling a little bit emotionally disconnected from them, and I feel like this is to do with communication issues. This will improve over time as they start to let their guard down, as they start to pull away or pull back from pretending or wearing this mask in front of you. Then the communication will improve. But because they're trying to almost like sell themselves like a salesman right now, there is issues of communication because they're not really being their authentic self, which is causing a lot of the issues here. Let's have a look a little bit into detail though, a little bit deeper. So we've got surrender. There is definitely their need to surrender here and let themselves shine. So I feel like you already really care about this person and you're already quite loyal to them and you're loyal to who they were before, but they've kind of dealt with a lot of people telling them they're not good enough, which has made them feel like they need to hide who they are. We've got the snake's spirit here. It is definitely time to heal for them with the snake spirit. But I feel like they're still compressing themselves right now. They're still compressing their throat chakra. But the truth of reality here with the dragonfly spirit, truth transcends illusion. The truth transcends these illusions that they're creating. No matter how they pretend or try and be somebody else, this person is themselves, you know, their self, their truth is going to come out. So it's more kind of a matter of like allowing them to get to the point of exhaustion, admitting who they are, and then you can go, okay, now you admitted who you are, I embrace that, like, I care about you. We just didn't need to play these silly games. Like, I really feel like they didn't need to play these silly games with you. They could have just come towards you and everything would have been great, but they felt like they just weren't enough. So with the giraffe spirit here, see the big picture. Once you see the big picture, that this is part of their learning process, this is something they have to learn in order to come back towards you in a healthier way, but also to make connections with other people in a healthier way and boost up their own confidence, then you'll go, you know what, this is like a child learning how to walk. Yes, they're going to fall down. Yes, they're going to fall down over and over again, but they need that time to learn to pick themselves up and learn to continue walking. Because if I sit there trying to pick them up, trying to prevent them from falling, they're never going to learn to walk. You know, they're never going to learn to be independent. And that's what you're having to do here. But I'm going to move these out of the way a second and make a little bit more room. And I'm going to grab some of these ones here. So what else do you not see coming about this though? There is going to be a little bit of lack here before there is overfilling joy. Sometimes like we have to deal with this lack mentality first to then have this overfilling joy. I do feel like there is somebody older than you around you trying to help and support you right now, because I feel like there is a lack of balance here. Some of you, this is literally an older person, like a grandfather or great-grandfather in spirit, trying to help you. If it's not in spirit, it's in the mundane world, so like an older person, older relative trying to help you to get balance here. But we're going to have a look now at each individual star sign of what you do not see coming and what you kind of need to know today. So we're going to see which individual star sign, what you need to know today, what you do not see coming right now, what is kind of hidden, what is kind of hiding away. So Aries, what do you not see coming? You don't see the fact that you are overwhelming yourself with lots of actions. You're trying to take a million actions at once, and it's making you kind of not be able to progress forward. It's making you kind of almost like being overburdened, overwhelmed. Don't focus on trying to do lots of things at the same time. You're going to kind of cause yourself mistakes, cause yourself problems. Write a little list, but then shove that list to the side and say, I'm only focusing on this one thing. I'm going to get this one thing done. And when that's done, I'll do something else. But none of those other things exist. I've written them down. They are out of my mind. They're out of my thoughts. I'm just continuing on here. Taurus. So Taurus, what does Taurus not see coming today? So with the Ace of Wands here, you don't see this disconnection of communication, but I feel like this is almost like somebody is purposely choosing people to cut off, and unfortunately you're one of them. It's like they're pruning a tree. Like they feel like they've got too many people around them right now, and they're like disconnecting from lots of different people. Don't take it personally though. We do sometimes outgrow each other, like sometimes it might happen with you, you outgrow a friend, but this person is just trying to like prune things out to make a little bit more orderly life for them. So although you don't see coming the fact that they're going to disconnect, don't take it personally, because I feel like eventually they will reconnect, but they almost like need this time and space to kind of get clarity. Gemini, what does Gemini not see coming? What you don't see coming is this strength and influence coming from the outside world. So I feel like this is you gaining strength, and this is through praise, through other people's praise coming in. But you don't realise that you're going to like have all this kind of confidence and strength coming in, helping you to kind of refocus or rearrange things. Cancers. What you don't see coming is that you need to take action. You're waiting for things to change, you're waiting things for people to alter their opinion, you're waiting for other people to open up the door, but realistically you're the one who's in control, you're the one who's in command. You need to actually make those demands yourself and take control yourself. Leo. You don't see the fact that money and finances are coming in, that you're getting more balance coming in. It's because it's so slow moving, you're almost like underestimating it. Sometimes when we have slow, gradual increase in money, we don't notice it until like 6 months later where we go, oh, actually, you know what? I'm so better financially. How did that happen? And it's because you've had that slow increase. Virgos. So with the Two of Wands here, you don't realise that you need to take communication seriously. I feel like there is somebody who you need to communicate with. They are a little bit of distance from you, so you're having to choose to take that action, take the communication forward. Libras, what do you not see coming? Commitment. I feel like for many of you, this is going to be romantic commitment, somebody committing to you romantically. Others of you, this is a financial commitment, as in like somebody commits to you more by giving you a raise or giving you a job offer or a contract, that kind of thing. But through the fire, through the issues and problems, this commitment is coming in. Even though you thought it was impossible, you thought that you should just give up on it. Scorpios, what do you not see coming? Your manifestations are being realised. So you don't even realise you are manifesting right now, because again, because the kind of movement is so slow, things are improving so slowly, you don't see that coming. But actually, you have been manifesting this for months, possibly even years for some of you, and it has taken a long, sweet long time, but you don't see that actually coming. You don't see it actually coming into fulfillment. Sagittarius. You don't see that in order to achieve more, you need to walk away from the past. This is you almost like choosing to keep hold or keep connected to people who are no longer good for you, who are no longer able to kind of really give you the connection that you need, and it's time for you to leave them behind. Capricorns. What you don't see coming here is the fact that the more you try to venture through this, the more you try to continue on, the more trouble it will cause. So this is almost like you having to cut ties, but you don't see the trouble ahead by trying to continue on as if everything is perfectly fine. Aquarius, what do you not see coming? So you don't see coming the fact that you are actually starting to embrace your dream life, your dream goals. You're moving towards your 11/11 moment. I do feel like you feel a little bit like lost or disconnected right now, but actually this is you heading towards this prosperity. Pisces. What you don't see coming is the fact that you need to embrace your long-term savings, long-term commitments. That's really going to help you feel more secure in the long run, make you feel less insecure, less worried about the past and less worried about the future. But think about the long-term commitments, and I feel like this for you is many use like financial long-term, so saving for a rainy day, saving for retirement, that kind of thing. Alright, I hope that helps you out, and I will see you again soon. This is what you need to know about your situation, so what's coming up for it, what's going to happen next, based on your star sign. So we're going to start out with Aries today. So Aries. They are being very emotionally distant with you right now. This person is choosing to kind of pull away. They're choosing to kind of almost like being very brutal with their conversations or brutal with how they act. So they're just saying without thinking, without having a filter. With the Five of Pentacles here, they are focused on their future, their finances, their career, etc. And particularly their own security. So I do feel like they're acting very cold towards you. They're pushing you away. They're acting very kind of almost like arrogant, or just generally not considering how their thoughts or feelings may affect you of what they say. But what's coming up though for you with it? Their negative affirmations, the negative thoughts about love, about relationships, are going to cause some more issues between the two of you. And it's important, as you start to feel this pushback from them, you start to feel them being more kind of arrogant, more kind of like negative towards love and towards this connection, that you stand firm. Because I feel like there is a bit of a risk here of you kind of like devolving and saying, okay, I'm just going to listen to what you have to say, what you want, what you need. And realistically here with the Nine of Wands in reverse, you need to disconnect from this. You need to not respond to this. Like, let them go off with their own negative cycles and their negative thoughts. They will eventually come back around, but you can't allow yourself to be dragged down with them. Don't allow yourself to be their punching bag or be somebody that they think it's okay to be nasty to. Stand your ground, be firm, and don't take any crap from them. Because I feel like you are juggling a little bit too much right now, and it isn't fair for you to have to take on their negativity, their negative thoughts. Like I said, I do feel like they are a bit busy in themselves, but that gives no response or no excuse for them to treat you badly. And I feel like that's kind of what's coming up with them treating you a little bit more badly before coming to the realization that they pushed everybody away from them. Unfortunately, it does take some people some time to realise that they are pushing everybody away, they are causing issues that do not need to be there in their life because they feel like everybody else needs to kind of do what they say or do what they want. Like, they've lost that consideration of what other people need, and they've lost the consideration that, yes, you may be going through something, but other people are as well. So, a little bit of a traumatic time, but keep strong and keep focused on your needs, not just theirs. Because I do feel like there's an element here of you being a bit too understanding, and sometimes people need like the harsh reality of being told off, you know? Next up is Taurus. So Taurus, what do you need to know about your situation right now? You are on the right path. You are headed towards the right path here. I feel like both of you are focused on your securities. I almost feel like the person you're dealing with is a little bit nervous, is a little bit worried about what's to come. They want a new start, they want a new beginning here, and they are focused on the long term. This is definitely not somebody that is short-sighted or anything like that. Though, like I said, there is this nervousness, a little bit of reservedness here, which I feel like is causing this, you being a little bit unsure of where things are going. What's happening next with it though? I feel like this is them starting to plan for the long term. I asked, well, are they going to talk to you about the long term? I don't feel like they're going to talk about it, but I feel like they're starting to put in plans in place. They're starting putting things in place to come towards each other. There is this element here of them almost like pulling away, feeling like it's their responsibility. So I feel like they won't come across of having it as a proper conversation, which I kind of wish they would. Like, I feel like this would be a lot healthier for both of you if they would just sit down and have a conversation about it, but they're really choosing not to. They're really choosing to kind of disconnect a little bit right now. And with the Moon card, it is causing a lot of emotional up and downs, both for you and for them. It's never good to be left in the dark by somebody, especially when they're trying to build the future for both of you. There really needs to be improvements in conversations, communication here, but I don't feel like it's going to be their main focus. Their main focus is, I want to plan out a good future with you, so I feel like it's all my responsibility to do that. So I do feel like you're going to have to kind of take them aside or have a word with them and say, look, let's have a conversation about this. It's not just on you, and it's important for me to share my input as well, to make sure we're both having a life that we're going to enjoy, rather than just presuming you're doing the right thing. Because we can presume that somebody wants one thing and they really want something completely different, but we have to kind of take a step out of that, and it gives us a chance to kind of give that rebirth, really see things a little bit more clearly. So, but I feel like over time they will take action towards letting you in more. But I feel like that's an important cornerstone you're having to go through this of how do I express myself and ask you questions while I'm trying to focus on building up a life for us both. So, there we go, Tauruses. So, we're going to move on now to Gemini. So, Gemini, what is coming up with your situation? What is coming up next with your situation? So, how do you both feel about this situation right now? A little bit worthless or unworthy of this, feeling like, oh, you know, I can't have this. I don't feel like it's going to happen for me. Actually it is. I feel like this is coming in as justice for you. I do feel like you have been left out in the cold and feeling a little bit lonely, a little bit like, oh, you know, I'm never going to find somebody good. This is almost like reward-like territory. But you're still holding on to the past here. And I feel like I want to say to you, like, you are still holding on to the past. Yes, they are a little bit as well, but I feel like heavily you are holding on to past situations, and it's making you feel a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, or I'm not sure if it's going to go well because of all these other negative past situations. With the Seven of Pentacles here, though, you are manifesting, you are creating this amazing new reality for yourself, but you haven't quite purged that out. I feel like next there is going to be a little bit of a purging here. This is you removing those blockages of holding on to old situations, old things that happened, old negative influences, old negative behaviours. You're having to let go of that first before you can step into this fully. So the little bit of spring cleaning here, you know. There is going to be some like improvements with finances, with money, but I feel like the risk here is that you'll kind of overspend, overenjoy yourself, overindulge. But I feel like actually, as long as you keep to the path of not overindulgence, this will really help you with this romantic relationship going forward to build the kind of dream life that you want together without that financial pressure, or at least not as bad as a financial pressure. With the King of Cups here, I do feel like this is quite an emotional connection. So this is them starting to bear their emotions more, be more vulnerable with you, and just generally be more emotionally supportive. So yes, there has to be a part on your part, like this little bit of purging out, removing of the old negative emotions to do with love from the old negative relationships. There is that purging out, working things through. But overall, this is quite positive for you, because this is allowing you to kind of really head forward in a whole new direction, a whole new visible output. So I do feel like, though, here with the King of Cups, this is them making you an offer. This is them kind of not getting all gooey, but definitely making more practical offers. And I do feel like it's more to do with the confidence and stress that they have surrounding confessing their feelings. So I feel like they're a little bit nervous to fully just be really gooey, really romantic. But I feel like over time they will start to express that more. It's more like in the acts of service, doing things for you, being there for you, etc., that they're going to focus on. But there's definitely like confessions of love and confessions of how they feel. I just feel like it won't be as lovey-dovey as you'd expect. So maybe not in the normal stereotypical way, but this is them trying to kind of show you that they do value you and they do love you. So that was Geminis. We're going to move on now to Cancers. So Cancers. How is your next situation? So what is coming up next in your next situation? And how just generally do you feel about each other right now? So you feel like this person is starting to take it more seriously. They're starting to take action. I feel like there is a little bit of reluctance here, like they're reluctantly starting to take action, they're reluctantly starting to commit. A lot of reluctance here, but I feel like this is because you started to speak of your negative thoughts or your negative feelings about how you're worried about this, how you weren't sure where it was going. There is an element here of you choosing to communicate about it, choosing to talk about it. And I feel like actually this is going to be prosperous for you in the long run, especially with the Ace of Cups here. This is very much you focused on the long term, your long-term stability, where you're going, what you're doing from now. And I feel like more than anything with the Ace of Pentacles here, this is you starting to get balance back in. So you're starting to understand balance, you're starting to get to a point where you can feel balanced, etc. So there's definitely an element here of like, I'm starting to get more balance in, I'm starting to get better balance in my life. And with the King of Wands here, I feel like this is better communication as well. So definitely going through this kind of like momentum of we're getting more balance in, we're understanding how to juggle the different things, not just our emotions but the rest of our life as well. And they're starting to kind of communicate with you better, because they do value you a lot. I feel like there is this reluctance around commitment, and it's a little bit to do with like they have some sort of mental kind of issues with it, of going, I feel like I never really make people happy, or I feel like it never really goes in the right direction, that kind of thing. So there is some sort of barriers there a little bit, which is causing some confusion of going, well, if you want to be with me, then be with me. Why have you got to second guess it? But that is a little bit of an issue for them that they're working through. It's still something that they haven't quite grasped the concept of how do we kind of balance things out, how do we understand it. So I'm going to go on now to the next one, which is Leos. So Leos, what is coming up next in this situation? So how are they feeling about you right now as well? They feel like there's a really strong connection here with you. They do want to make an offer and come towards you, but I feel like there is this fear. I don't want to say reluctance. This isn't reluctance, Leo. This is very much like, I want to come towards you, but I'm worried. Like, they are a little bit wounded here. They are a little bit hurt, and it's making them a little bit nervous, a little bit afraid of what will happen. They're kind of scared of losing you, because it's almost like a mentality of like, you have my heart on your sleeve, you know. This is definitely though, this person values you a lot, really wants to be with you. But there is issues with communication. How do I communicate with you? How do I express that you are special to me? I almost feel like this person feels like they need to make amends to you. Like, either literally they've done something that they should be making amends to, or they just feel like they should be making amends to you. Like I've treated you badly, I could understand if you never want to speak to me. Some of you, this is just them being overreactive, but some of you, they do actually need to make amends to you. They are coming in with something like, I do value you, but I feel like part of them thinks that there isn't going to be a future here. And this is more to do with them feeling like there's no way you'll want me back, or there's no way you'll want to be with me. Like, I've lost my chance with you, there's no way this could work, because there's no way you'd want to be with me. They're telling themselves all the time, there's no possible way you could possibly want to be with me. And I don't feel like that's true. I feel like actually you can create a new beginning here, and something worthwhile. But there is this fear in their eyes, so understand if they are coming across a little bit nervous, a little bit shy, it's because of this fear. It's because they don't feel like they can kind of really offer what they should be offering. So there is an element here of being pulled back, being pushed back, and it is causing some issues and some problems here. So understand that, you know, it is a little bit more on the difficult suit of things. But with the with the Five of Cups here, there is security here, there is offers of security, and there is offer of trying to move things forward in positive momentum. So, that was Leo. We're going to move on now, which is onto Virgo. So, Virgo, what is coming up next in your situation? So, how are they feeling about you in general right now, and what's coming next? They're feeling a little bit like, here with the 10 of Wands here, that there's almost like too many obligations, too many issues in life. They're feeling very insecure. I do feel like this is leaving them to be pulled back from you at the moment, because they're feeling like they're so overwhelmed, they have too much going on, they have too many obligations, like I don't have time for this. But what is hidden is the fact that they do actually want to come towards you, like they don't actually want to pull away from you. It's almost like they're kind of being forced to by their situation. They are dealing with a lot of sadness right now though, while they're trying to battle with this. This is definitely somebody who's overwhelmed though, but they will start communicating with you again when they have time to kind of enjoy themselves, to have fun. This is almost like weeks or months. For some of you it's just going to be weeks, but I feel like for a lot of you this is going to be months down the line of them having to kind of battle through this and then get themselves to more of a stable position. So there is a lot of obligations that's holding themselves back, but eventually I feel like they're gonna have to deal with this like insecurities first, but eventually they will come back around. Just understand they're not gonna be the kind of person that you normally would want them to be, or you normally expect them to be, because they are so overwhelmed. They definitely do not want to forget you, or do not want to live without you or anything like that. I just don't feel like they have a choice right now, so instead they're being very kind of cold, aloof, and it's because they're so distracted by the other obligations they have in their life to do with career and finances, and also some of you as well, like their friends groups as well, but they feel like they are so overwhelmed they can't possibly come towards you yet. Like I said, I feel like this is like a late bloomer kind of situation. That one wanted to come out, so we're going to take it. We've got the Two of Swords here. They want to speak the truth, but they really can't right now. They don't feel like they can kind of fully explain to you how things are overwhelming for them, how things are going for them. So it's almost like the light in their eyes have kind of gone out a little bit right now, and they don't really know how to move forward. So understand that this is going to be a bit stagnant until everything gets sorted. We're going to move on now to Libras. So, Libras, how is your situation going? How is your person at the moment? And what's the next thing that's going to happen with it? What's the next thing going to happen with it? So, how are they feeling about you right now? Like they've lost you, like they've missed out on you. They are trying to plan and plot of how to come towards you, how to build something up. And they do want communication here. I feel like they are being a bit reserved right now. They're kind of being a bit quiet, being held back. But they do want to have these conversations with you. But they're more in the planning stages of like, what should I do next? Where should I go next? How should I go next with this? What's going to come up with it though? They are going to come towards you. It's a little bit out of focus right now. Like they don't know how to move towards you. And the communication is going to be a bit on and off because they don't know how to. But they are trying to invest into this. I feel like more than anything they're going to try almost like use materialistic ways. Trying to like pamper you. Trying to come close to you. But I feel like this person just doesn't know how to communicate that they do want you and they do want to be with you in a way that would make you desire them, basically. They feel almost like that they aren't desirable to you, that you wouldn't want them, but they are going to work hard to make that happen, to make themselves more desirable for you. So this is somebody who's going to work quite hard to kind of win you over. Though there is this pause there though, there is this kind of like I'm pulling back, having it on pause and then coming towards you. So I'm going to have a look now at Scorpios. So Scorpios, how does the person feel about you? How does this person think or feel about you right now? And what is the next situation to happen? How do they feel or think about you right now? They feel like that, like, the connection isn't that good, but they feel like that they haven't lost you completely. Like, they do feel like it can be salvaged. There is a little bit of a laziness here. Like, they feel like, well, I can salvage this, I can work it out, but they don't feel like they need to kind of put 101% in. Like, they feel like they can just kind of mediocre try. So there is issues with communication here. I feel like communication is going to slowly improve, but it's almost like they feel like, well, you know, I know things aren't going well with us, but I can fix this. It can be fixed whenever we need to. What's the reaction, next actions though? There's like a nonchalantness of it, though, that I don't like, of them going, well, when I need you, you'll be waiting. They will come towards you, and I feel like this is after they feel like, oh my god, like there's a panic. This is almost like they see you, or they think that you are going off with somebody else instead. Like, they think that you've given up on them, or they think you're getting a better option from somebody else. Then the panic sets in. Then they panic and go, oh my god, I'm losing you. I'm not going to have you anymore. I'm missing out on this, or I'm going to miss out on this. So when this panic starts to kind of creep in, that's when they're going to come back around. That's when they're going to try and approach you. So they need to almost be like, put the fear of God into them first, of losing you, and then they're going to take more action. But until then, it's going to be like a bit of a burden of like them only putting in a mediocre amount of effort. You're not really being satisfied by it. So by all means, like, feel free to kind of just carry on with your life, you know, date or whatever. Because I feel like that they won't realise that they're losing you until it's like almost too late. Like, you are starting to date other people, or you're starting to move on with your life in general. So as soon as they think that they've lost you, that's when they're going to panic and actually put the effort in. So this is more somebody who has gotten complacent and got used to the idea that they can just, you know, they can make this work whenever they want on their schedule kind of mentality. Which is quite childish, I've got to admit. But they will want to kind of work this out eventually. But you've got to be demanding of what you desire and what you deserve, you know. So, Sagittarius, what's coming up in your situation? To begin with though, how do they feel about you? How do they feel about you right now? They're missing out, like they're losing out, and they know it's because they can't speak up, and they know they need to speak up to you, but they're not doing that self-improvement here. They know they need to kind of express themselves better to you, be able to speak up better to you, be able to kind of bring this around so you can have better connections, but they don't really know how to, and they're not willing to go off and do the self-improvement necessary, whether it's reading books or whether it's just talking to you. They're not willing to do that self-improvement. You will have fun and adventure with them again, but they're not taking action right now, and it's causing issues with communication. It's slowing everything down. What's the next actions though? They're going to disconnect a little bit, and I feel like that they won't really have much to offer to begin with. I feel like this is almost like things will get worse before they get better. And I feel like it's almost like an element here of like, they'll stop kind of trying to work on this, trying to connect with you, and then things will get better as they kind of realise, you know what, things will probably be a lot more fun if we start connecting again, if we spend time together again, and they have this wake-up call that, hang on a second, to make a relationship work, I need to work on it. So they need to have that wake-up call first. But I feel like, unfortunately, things are going to get worse before they get better, with them being a bit lazy and not really wanting to properly work on this, properly put the effort in. So we're going to go on now to the next one, which is Capricorn. So Capricorn, what do you need to know today? How are you thinking, and how's this person thinking and feeling, and what's the next situation to happen? They don't feel like there's movement forward right now with you. Like, everything has slowed down, everything has stopped. They want to talk this through though, and they want to communicate. They are quite reserved about this. I almost feel like they'd like, well, how do I put this in a way that I can let you know that I still want to be with you, but I don't understand how to fix this or how to move things forward. It's definitely that they want to stay with you, but they don't know how to kind of create that spark again. They are spending some time planning in secret, because ultimately they are afraid that if they just let this dwindle, let this romance die, then eventually you'll disconnect from them, or eventually you'll go off in your own direction. They do want to keep this connection alive. I feel like it's going to take a week or two, up to a month, for them to actually start having ideas of how to spice things up. I feel like this is going to be small at first, them trying to improve the connection, trying to improve the passion, but they are willing to invest into this. They are definitely willing to invest into this because they do really want to move forward with this. They do really want to connect. I just feel like there's a little bit of nervousness of, I don't really know how to do it. I don't really know how to improve things, but I know I want it to work. I know I want to be with you. So it's definitely not a lack of want. It's more of a lack of, I don't really know how to, it's inexperience. So we're going to move on now to Aquarius. So Aquarius, what is coming up in your situation and how does this person feel about you? How does this person feel about you right now? This person is definitely flipped upside down by you. Like, you flip me up and upside down. I don't feel like I have much you would value. I don't feel like I have much you would value, but I enjoy being with you. So this person enjoys being around you, but doesn't really feel like they can give you much. And that's why they're keeping a little bit more quiet. It's almost like a mentality of I don't want to miss out on a good thing. I don't want to mess up a good thing. They're not taking action towards you because of that right now, because they don't want to mess things up. But how will they be going forward? They'll definitely take things very slowly and be worried about taking action. And it's all because they're quite indecisive. I feel like with this person, Aquarius, you're going to have to take the lead. As much as I feel like you don't want to, you need to help them to kind of build up that self-esteem first and the realization of that they do deserve you, that things are going well, like you are going to want to be with them. I feel like once they get their confidence up, then they will make a move. But their confidence just isn't at the kind of level it demands it to, you would demand it to be, or you need it to be to really progress this forward. So understand this is more to do with their own kind of worries and fears about that they are not good enough, they cannot achieve things, they cannot provide a good life, that kind of thing. Not to do with like them not wanting to be with you. They definitely do. They definitely enjoy you, enjoy being with you, but there's almost a mentality of like, I don't want to screw this up. So they are very slow to react, very slow to take action. So we're going to go on now to Pisces. So Pisces, what is coming up in your situation and what is generally like their next actions, their thoughts, their feelings? The Eight of Pentacles here, they are trying to invest into you. Like, they see you as an investment for the future. Like, they really see this as long term. But they aren't moving forward yet. This is because they have communication issues. They're not very good at speaking about their feelings. I feel like other aspects of their life they are well. So they can talk to friends and business colleagues, that kind of thing, family. But when it comes to love, they just are inexperienced. But with the Three of Pentacles here, they do want it to make it work. They are like learning how to kind of improve that. Like they're in this stage of learning how to communicate better, learning how to connect better. And communication will definitely improve in the future. They will be testing things out though as you go forward. So they'll have a conversation with you and try and judge your reaction. And if it's good, they'll carry on and more, and it'll slowly build up. But yeah, there is this general like, I don't feel like I know how to be in a relationship right now. I don't feel like I know how to connect with people in that way right now. But they are desperately trying to improve things. So this feels like over time, because it's a lack of inexperience, like they are inexperienced, over time they will get better and better at expressing themselves, communicating with you to really create that grounded connection. Alright, I hope that helps you out, and I will see you again soon. Do you want to know what this person's feelings are about you right now? So we're going to go into now an overview, and then go into each individual star signs. So how is this person feeling about you and thinking about you right now? How is this person feeling about you right now? So we've got the King of Cups here. This person has a lot of emotions for you. Very passionate, very loving. But I feel like there's almost this mentality of lack. Although this person has a very romantic, very loving, very loyal soul underneath it all, it's like it's been corrupted. It's almost like you've got this beautiful white canvas and then somebody's just dropped a bunch of black paint all over it, you know. It's been corrupted, it's been messed up. It's like they've gone from this very loving and very kind and loyal person to be quite angry and mean at the world, because they are dealing with a lot of sadness here, a lot of feelings of lack, a lot of feelings like their life is falling apart. And unfortunately, a lot of the time when people feel like their life is falling apart, they get a bit bitter, they get a bit angry. So this person may be acting very bitter, very angry towards you, kind of very snappy right now towards you. And I do feel like this is to do with finances, and this feeling of lack of opportunity, lack of movement forward. They really don't know how to move forward from here. They are indecisive. They do not understand, how do I get myself out of this? How do I move forward? If you imagine a cat, if a cat or a wild animal is cornered, they get angry, they get mean, they get nasty, and they lash out. This is what this person's being. They are a very loving and loyal person underneath it all, and you know this. But you're why are they suddenly acting nasty towards me? Why are they suddenly acting like this? And it's because they are dealing with a lot of pain, and they feel quite powerless about it. They feel like they cannot control this. They feel like they cannot kind of rid this from their life right now. I do not have control over this. I'm having to just accept my fate. With the Maple Spirit, generosity will help that, and it'll help them in this acceptance. Accepting the fact that they cannot control everything. And with the Thicket of Thorns, dealing with this uncertainty. So it's almost through your generosity, through your kindness, through your love, whether it's literally physically going up to them and saying, look, I still love you and I care about you, or whether it's metaphysically, so you are just sending out thoughts of love and thoughts of kindness. I feel like over the time you will end up kind of getting more and more connected and more grounded. But there is this little bit of an element here of you having to kind of get to the stage of going, you know what, I can only do so much for this person, but my generosity will help them find this acceptance, find a way to deal with this uncertainty in their life in order to start acting and behaving nicer, you know? We got the flamingo, if I can say it, flamingo spirit, flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. And we've got the moth spirit here, we've got one card underneath it, so moth spirit, surrender now. And we've got the eagle spirit, spirit has your back. So whenever they come out like this, it's always what is hidden or what is being hidden by it. So with the moth spirit, what is being hidden at the moment is porcupine spirit, a time for a beginner's mind. So what is being hidden is they're having to surrender to this, I cannot control what is outside of my control. They're in between that right now. They're in this stage of both being confused if they should take action and confused if they should just surrender to it, which is making them very unstable. Once they do kind of surrender to this, that I cannot control what I cannot control, they will start to kind of realize that they have a beginner's mindset of how to deal with this and how to prosper themselves forward and continue themselves forward. But they are on the minute trying to heal, trying to transform, and Spirit definitely has their back on this. It's trying to help them to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's trying to help them to see the way forward, which is to embrace knowing that you cannot control everything in life. You have to control what you can control, and you have to let the rest up to God. So we're going to have a look now a little bit deeper into their thoughts. So we're going to have a look a little bit deeper into this though. There are so many things that remind me of you. The timing just wasn't right for us. I knew exactly what I was doing. So the timing really wasn't right for this. And they knew exactly how they were behaving. Like, I do feel like they're going to end up regretting a lot of how snappy they were and how mean they were. And things do remind them of you. Finding the truth crushed me. So finding the truth that things were improving, going in the direction they wanted, really did crush them, really did cause a lot of hurt and pain for them. And they're still in this process of, I'm working through it, I'm processing through it, I'm continuing through it. So we're going to have a look at the Book of Love for you. So what do you need to know from the Book of Love? And then we're going to do the individual signs. So what do you need to know from the Book of Love? Can we just kiss and make up? So more than anything, they kind of wish that they could just kiss and make up, but they are still going through this painful time. Sometimes I think that Spirit made us meet so we could be together. So they do feel this like really heavy draw towards you. Like, almost like I am destined to be together. We are destined to be together. There is a lot of anxiety with them right now. So, like I said before, they do have this desire for you, but there's a lot of kind of upset and aggression right now. But we're going to have a look now into the individual star signs. So, this is for your sun, moon and rising. So, what does the individual star signs need to know today? About this person, about the person they're thinking about. How does this person feel about them? How are they feeling about them in general right now? A lot of like painful back and forths, back and forths, back and forths. Aries. This person is feeling like there is a lot of lack of communication right now. I do feel like it is hurting them though. But it's almost like it's their own making. Like, they're feeling like they're distant from you. They're feeling like they're missing you. But this is their own making. Until they decide to kind of free themselves from this, it's not really going to progress forward. But do know, it's making them miss you as well. It's making them feel lonely. It's just they're a little bit too stubborn here to actually admit that and just start talking. So next up is Taurus. So Taurus, just feel like here there is this element of I feel like I've lost you. Like, I feel like you wouldn't want to commit to me again. I feel like I lost you. I'm scared that I've lost you. I'm scared that everything's just breaking apart. There is a lot of fear here of loss, of I have lost you or I'm losing you right now. Gemini. They're feeling very stuck. Like, they want to improve things, but they feel like it is impossible. They feel like they cannot improve things, that they are just a victim of how things are. But I feel like they would like things to improve with you. Cancers. This person feels like they want justice. They want to give you justice. They want justice themselves. They almost like feel like being around you right now would cause you to be hurt, cause injustice, unfairness to you. So it's almost like they're like, I'm going to keep away from you. I'm going to avoid you because it's the only way I can be fair to you. Like, they see it as protecting you. Like, I am protecting you by keeping a distance here. Leos. This person feels like that they are not worthy of you. Like, you think I'm an emperor, but I'm a false emperor. You think that I have my life together, but I really don't. They perceive that you do not see their faults, their issues, their problems, And because of that, they feel like they have to run away. They have to kind of focus on running, on getting away from this, without really kind of focusing on anything serious. Virgos. This person feels like nothing good would come of this. Like, if I was to come towards you right now, nothing good would come of this. Nothing would prosper here. We both lose out. It would be both kind of like traumatic. So they're choosing to stay away right now. But there is love here underneath it all. It's just that they feel like it would hurt both sides. Libras. This person desperately wants communication. I do feel like they're finding it very difficult of how to communicate, but they are trying to like replay how to communicate in their head, trying to work out ways to communicate, trying to figure out how they should communicate. Scorpios. This person is actually going to come towards you with an offer fairly soon. They are very shy, very worried about this, very scared about this. But they're going to try to. They're going to try to continue on and give you that offer. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. This person with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse feels like that everything is falling apart right now. Like, if I can't offer anything for myself in my own life, how could I possibly offer anything to you? So this person is almost like playing the waiting game. I'm waiting for me to improve. I'm waiting for my life to improve before I can come towards you. Capricorn. This person is juggling a lot right now. They do have a hyperfixation on you though. They are focused on you. But they are taking so much burdens on right now. They're struggling to kind of stay in contact or just stay near you. This person desperately wants some time alone with you, but they don't feel like it's possible right now because of the amount of burdens they're taking on. Aquarius. This person really sees you as the Empress. They really highly regard and highly see you as a prize here. They see you as somebody that they truly do desire, and it's almost like a prize they could win. Like, they're trying to make themselves be the kind of person that would win you over. They don't realize they don't need to do that, but they're trying to improve themselves to become the person who could win your hand, win you over, kind of thing. Pisces. So with the King of Swords here, this person has a lot of action orientation, so they want to take action towards you. They want to kind of show you rather than just tell you. This is a person that really is kind of focusing on how can I kind of show you quickly, how can I kind of take action towards you and take action to show you how much I do love you and how much I feel connected to you. So this is a person that is kind of finding it hard to kind of really describe how they feel about you, but there is a lot of love there. So I will see you all again soon, and please do you have a question that you really want the answer for? So this is a yes or no reading for any question you want. So take a moment now and focus on your question. Remember, it must be a yes or no outcome. So does this person like me? Does this person want to date me? Am I going to get a new job? Am I heading in the right direction? That kind of thing. So focus on it now, and whatever question you find yourself drawn to the most, this is your answer. So I'm going to do each of the star signs. So this is your sun, moon and rising. So pick whichever one you feel like you are drawn to the most, but we're going to get started. But you can choose multiple if you've got multiple questions. So we are going to get started with Aries. So Aries, first of all, what do you need to know about your question? What do you need to know about your question? You feel a little bit drained right now, lack of value, things just aren't really heading forward for you, aren't really very stuck, things aren't heading forward for you, you don't really feel like you're bringing much to the table, it's not really progressing, just feeling drainingness, I can't really be bothered to put any more energy into this, because everything I've tried just has not been playing out, just has not been paying out to me, and just has not been heading in the right direction. So this is almost like you're hiding away a little bit from the world. with the strength card here, it has been knocking your confidence, but you are trying to enjoy yourself still. You're trying to stay positive. But you just feel a little bit disconnected from this. Like, I feel like I need to disconnect from it. I feel like I need to walk away. Like, this really isn't headed forward in the direction I expected it to. I almost want to say, like, there's mentality of this just feels mid. Like, you're just like, oh, this just feels mid. Is this a yes or a no, though? So I do feel like this is a yes. There is a little bit of an element here of what is blocking it, as there hasn't been a long-termness to it. So you either haven't given it enough time or enough energy over time to kind of see it progress. Sometimes when we're trying to do things, like for example, say you're trying to lose weight, you started a diet and then like you started it for a month, things were going well, and then you stopped. And then 6 months later, you're like, oh, you know, everything went badly with it. But if you'd have continued on from that, like, first month, so you spent the last 7 months doing that healthy eating or doing whatever regime you wanted to do, you would actually see progression. The problem is here, it's almost like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So you're giving a bit of energy to it, and then saying no repercussions or nothing from it, stopping, and then starting up again, and stopping and starting up again. There needs to be this work over time to really see this come through. But I do feel like it is a yes, but there is an element here of sticking the course, staying the course. So we're going to move on now to the next one, which is Taurus. So Taurus, this is your yes or no answer. So Taurus, what do you need to know about your yes or no question right now? You are waiting here for communication. You're not very happy about it, but you're starting to get yourself happy. But you are waiting. You're like waiting here for other people to make approvals or other people to make a decision. I feel like you are being forced to wait for them though. I don't feel like this is you just choosing to. It's like the only thing you can do right now. You're having to speak up for yourself, but you can't take action. That's the problem. You're trying to speak up for what you want, but you can't take action yet. And you're having to kind of pause here. Is this a yes or a no? Is the answer to your question a yes or a no? So I do feel like this is a no. There's almost like some information being cut off, or you having to cut people out. But what is kind of blocking this and making this into a no is it wouldn't be worth your while in the long run. So this would almost be like, if it was a yes, it would be bad for you in the long run. It wouldn't give you the satisfaction, or wouldn't give you the positivity. It would be a bit problematic. With the 10 of Pentacles here, there is an element here of you don't feel like your life is going to the worthwhileness that it should be right now. Like, it's almost a little bit like you're having to kind of accept this as a no and then move on to something better. Sometimes we do have a little bit of bumps in the road, and those kind of lead us down a pathway which we might not expect to go to, or we didn't really want to do at the first, and then we come into like this better kind of movement forward, this better momentum later on. So there is a little bit of an element here of having to pull back, having to come back, and not exactly being in the right direction as we would necessarily want. But I do feel like actually this is going to help out in the long term, and actually really help out positively later on. So we're going to move on to the next part now, which is for Geminis. Geminis, what is the answer to your question, your yes or no question? So we're going to do an overview first of what you need to know about this. I almost feel like there's an element here of like everything's just kind of fell down or fell over. Like you were trying to take a lot of action, you were trying to kind of keep everything stable, you had a lot of things to juggle. And because of that, like sometimes it gets to a point where there's so much to juggle or so many stuff going on around us, we physically cannot cope. And we end up like dropping out of things, we end up kind of leaving things behind. And I do feel like things haven't been progressing in the way they should be because you're expected to take on a bit too much. you're having to take on a little bit too much energy, you're having to take on a little bit too much, and it lent you to this stage of being drained and really not be able to continue on in the direction that was good for you. You are coming out of that troubled waters now, so there is this element here of you not having as much pressure on you. It is leaving you a little bit more on your own though, so although I feel like there is less pressure, you might be feeling a little bit left out in the loop or a little bit left alone because other people are pulling back from your life. And this is the universe's way to kind of give you more me time, more alone time, to take care of yourself and focus on your needs. Because there is this kind of almost like overwhelming energy here that you're having to click out of, you're having to pull out of. I do feel like though with the Temperance card here, there is this element of needing to kind of not take things as slowly, needing to start taking action. But this is almost like taking action for yourself, whereas before, like, these were actions thrust upon you. So this was obligations, this was things people were expecting you to do. Whereas this is taking action for yourself instead, for your own prosperity. Is the answer to your question yes or no though? Yes, I do feel like it is good communication. I know that was quite quick, but yes, I do feel like it's good communication. The reason why I just felt like just blowing out yes, because you don't feel like you're not really valuing what you're bringing to the table or really valuing yourself enough. So you need to understand that this is a yes, but there had to be some like pulling back or some changes in your life, communications that had to happen first in order for you to start being able to communicate better, be able to kind of progress forward better. So there is this kind of pulling back energy, but overall this is a yes though. We're going to go on now to Cancers though. Cancers. The Cancers, what is the answer to your yes or no question? But first of all, what do you need to know about it, Cancers? People are starting to realise your worth here, and because you are offering a lot. The only thing I don't like about this is it's almost an element here of people are realising your worth, and people are realising what you bring to the table. And the thing I don't like about this is almost like, instead of people going, oh, this person's a really nice person, they're going, I can use this person, they can help me with things, they can do things for me. That's what I don't like about it, because it's coming in with these people coming around you that are like, I'm going to take from this. So it's not just a, I'm going to help you out with this, or we're going to sort this out. It's like, what can I take from this scenario? What can I take from this situation? Which feels really toxic here. With the Page of Cups here, don't rush to action. Take things slowly. I almost feel like the universe is forcing you to take things slowly here. So it might seem like things just aren't really going your way because, you know, like, it's like either extra paperwork or you're having to redo things or things are taking a little bit longer than you expected. And this is so you can actually kind of continue on. This is so you can continue on into a direction that is going to be prosperous for you, is going to take you in the right direction. So this is a little bit of like peeling back here, pulling back, to kind of really focus on your direction, on your new direction, where you need to go from here, how you need to continue on. So this is kind of pumping you up and heading you forward. The only thing I would say though is with the reverse of the Strength card, there is a little bit of like you are feeling a little bit insecure, but understand that sometimes the universe gives us these breaks in order for us to kind of re-establish where we want things to go, how we want to go forward. But is the answer to your question a yes or a no? I do feel like this is a yes here. I do feel like this is a yes. With the Eight of Pentacles here, it is a long-term yes though, and I feel like with the High Priestess, there is this kind of need or this aura to trust yourself and be balanced in it. It's almost the mentality of, it's all nice and good to help people or to be there for others, but we have to be there for ourselves as well. So we can't just be there for others constantly. because otherwise we end up drained, otherwise we end up in like this really bad situation or scenario. And I do feel like that's what's happening with you right now, is you're having to kind of pull back from that and go, okay, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to focus on what I need, my needs, and what I need to create. And that's going to really help you as you go forward, as you continue on. But I feel like there is this element here of having to kind of really refocus of, how do I continue on from here? How do I go from here? And that'll really give you a whole new perspective. But planning is the main key for this, planning where you want to go. So although this is a yes, pull back a little bit, focus on yourself, plan on where you need to go, what you need to do next. Alright, so that was Cancers. We're going to go on next to Leos. So Leos, what do you need to know about your yes or no question right now? So what is the answer to your yes or no question from Tarot? What is your Tarot yes or no question? You are almost like choosing to cut off communication with people. You have a lot of new connections coming in. Particularly more like fun connections, like friendships, relationships, just generally fun. I do feel like there's an element here of, in the past you would overshare. In the past you'd be like, oh my god, a friend, you are my whole life now. Or romance, you'd be like, oh my god, a romantic relationship, you are my whole life now. You're pulled back a little bit now, you're a little bit more reserved, a little bit more cautious. And I feel like whatever you're asking about, you are being a little bit more reserved about it. You're like, okay, I want to get the heads up, I want to get a plan here, but I'm not going to allow myself to get carried away, get emotionally overwhelmed, etc. And I feel like this is because of injustice in the past and unfairness. You are kind of dealing with people who are more like emperors now, who are stronger now. You are starting to connect with a whole new next lot of people. And there is some self-improvement there for them. And with the there is some self-improvement they're going through right now, should I say. And I feel like that's a reason why they won't be rushing to action either. This is good though, because this is giving both of you and all of you people you're connecting to the chance to really suss each other out, to understand what each other are like, understand like how this connection is, what you need to know about it, etc. This is giving more of a balanced connection, more of a balanced understanding, rather than just like a one-sided overwhelmingness. So there is this like little bit of pullbackness here, but I feel like it is good for you, and it is going to bring to more stability. But is the answer to your question a yes or a no? Is the answer to the question a yes or a no? I feel like this is a not yet. I don't want to say no, but this is a little bit of a difficult one. I don't want to say no because it's a not yet. I almost feel like the issue here is more of this will eventually become a yes, but it's not yet. It's like you're having to step into the vibration, or having to step into the mentality, or having to step into this. There is some sort of like having to do this first and then it'll be a yes. So I don't feel like it's a no, but it's a not yet. So if you're asking about particularly about a time period, or you're expecting something to happen quickly, do understand it's going to take a lot longer than you expected. And this is because you're having to almost like step into that life. So when we're talking about manifestations, we talk a lot about acting as though it already is. And I feel like that's part of what you're having to do, is stepping to that, acting as if it already exists, acting as if it already is around you. And this is helping you to kind of rejig things and re-see things for the positive. So this is almost like you stepping into this, and I do feel like it is going to be very positive for you and very good for you. I just feel like it's a not yet, but eventually yes. So I'm going to carry on now, but understand that you are stepping into it. It's just going to take a little bit more time than planned. So next up is Virgos. So Virgos, what do you need to know about your yes or no question? What is the answer to your yes or no question? What do you need to know about it to begin with? You're pulling back your energy. I was